Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Welcome Sunday. Happy Sunday. Beautiful Sunday, too. I mean, beautiful over here in New York. So hopefully it's nice and everything where y'all at.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
Yes, it's really good. Happy Sunday. Welcome, y'all. I appreciate everyone who's coming in and stopping by and watching in. We have a couple of topics to discuss today. Before we get to that, let me hit my little intro and get more stuff together, and then we start.
Mizzle social corner. I got a question for you. Are you ready to answer? Mizzle social corner. I got a question for you. Are you ready to answer? Mizzle social corner. I got a question for you. Are you ready to answer? Mizzle social corner. I got a question for you.
All right, what's up, y'all? How's it going? What's up? All right, so y'all know the title is Mr. Social Corner. Y'all know Mr. Social Corner is the opposite of the reality TV show reviews. Is many more of the social topics. It could be anything from social media. It could be things from questions that I put forth, and we have a debate on. And surprisingly, today will be a lot of things that's happening on social media that we can have a discussion about. So I like kind of things that because we can have more things than talk about TV shows and celebrity news. Even though some of the topics will probably presented to celebrities, but the topics and issues itself is something that we can debate on. So that's what we'll be about. So, hey, Atimo, what's going on? What's up? What's up? Tracy, my other co-host. Oh, you sick? Oh, hope you feel better. Hope this live will make you chill up. Cheer up. All right.
Yeah. Just relax. Just relax.
Yeah, relax. You need it. Right. So, I always start my lives usually by a little update. So let me show you couple topics, future topics that we brought about. I mean, some of y'all heard about it before, but hey, let me check. Oh, hold up.
Is my camera flickering on your side, Miz?
Let me see. Oh, wait, hold up. I have this thing in my face. It's covering your whole face. Hold up. Let me see. No, it's good. I see it. It's steady. All right, so potential Mr. Social topics. All right, so why do people glorify persons in struggle story versus a person who's destined to the trust fund? And that came about of the Real Housewives of Potomac because it's like usually a lot of people do glorify, or I have a struggle, so it makes it seem like it's better than people who are trust fund or just people who grow up with money. And I was like, we all want money, so I don't know why you disagree with money, but it is stereotypes for each side of the story going. So we will discuss that in the future. Somewhere in the future. Pick a side. Does the society influence or impact television, or does television impacts or influence the society? So, hey, Donna, what's up? How you doing? So, we will discuss that. Next thing, ride or die mentality. How much or how far will you do for your significant other? How much will you ride and die for them? And how much will you sacrifice your freedom for your spouse? We'll discuss that. Yeah. I mean, it is flick a little bit. So he's like the light.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next, respectable politics. Who makes up the rules and what will become of you if you don't follow? Scenarios, examples, like such as that bonnets in the public, or such as wearing dreadlocks in the workplace, even though I think this was a law passed that you can't use that discrimination, but at the time people was using that. Tattoos in the face. What's some of the respectable politics that people have that you should not be following? Even though there's no written rule about it, but if you don't follow it, it's a problem. So what is your timeline? Give us different examples, and we will discuss in our timelines the reason behind it, such as how long you should get married, how long you should talk to your significant other, after the fight, or how long will you talk to someone after the first date, or how much you communicate on phone, text, whatever. We're going to talk about a lot of different timelines and stuff like that. And the last thing I have, it will be more topics, but this is stuff that I have came about so far. What is your unwritten rule? and code in different scenarios, such as defending friendships, relationships, dating, etc. So that's that. And my other side, y'all know I do Mizzle talks. That's mostly real society stuff. And I don't know. Anybody go to see the Aretha Franklin movie? Hopefully, I go to see that because I probably will see it.
It's got good reviews. I've been hearing the reviews. They sound pretty good.
It sounds good. All right. Because if I do watch it, we probably talk about it next time and give an opinion. I'm gonna take notes, so it's just gonna be fresh in my head, fresh in my mind.
Right? we should do a watch party.
But it's in theater, so I can't do it in the theater.
Oh, you know my bootleg ass. I'll find it somewhere.
All right, so the topics we're going to discuss in this live is Future text to his son. He did a little damaging text to his son saying something about his mom and everything, and we discussed that. Next is a shade room scenario. It was a scenario on the shade room. They always put out like shade room debates, scenarios. It gets you to thinking. So I always like a lot of little comments, a lot of stuff, because it gets you thinking. It's like, what if this happened? And it's like, especially when you read the comment section, people have different viewpoints. Some people in one extreme, people in different extremes, some people in the middle, some people, it's different. So that's like these scenarios. And one of them, we're going to discuss that. We're going to listen to audio to 8 at the Table. It's a YouTube channel called 8 at the Table. And I don't understand why it's called 8 at the Table. Usually it's never 8 people. So it's like 7, 6, 5. So I was like, how's 8 at the Table? So, but it was different people who, men and women, who discusses different things about different topics. So tonight we're going to talk about what women should bring to the table if she earns more money. And we're going to listen to audio and discuss about that. And because that was interesting. And some of my favorite YouTubers did discussions on this. So I said, let me talk about it ourselves and see what we come up. Next is the GoFundMe story about Dasha Kelly, who did a GoFundMe and explained that she might face an eviction and about the kids. So we're going to talk about all of that, how I feel about that particular thing.
That story was crazy as hell, first of all.
And the last thing, we're going to listen to audio. Hey, JW, what's up? And how...
Hey.
Last thing is Nick Cannon and his interview with the Breakfast Club and his views of polygamy and polyamory and stuff like that and children. And he talked about other stuff too, cancel culture, stuff like that. But we ain't going to go too far into that other aspect. We're going to talk about that little bit thing that he discussed in the beginning. So we're going to listen to audio of that and do the pieces of audio. I'll probably pause and discuss some things. All right.
Well, you have to put a disclaimer up. We're using the other audio. So they won't try to flag you.
It's not a video, so I'm going to do it as well here. But I don't know the disclaimer. Disclaimer, it is an audio. It's an audio, so it's more than a video. So I think we could do it that way. If they do something flagging all stuff, then I would just not do it again. I just do a link. But I will post a link of it so y'all can follow if y'all want to follow yourself. So let me do that now. Interview of Nick Cannon. Because I did take notes, but it will be helpful if we do listen together and talk about it.
Right.
Maybe probably didn't hear it. I mean, yeah. I mean, they more inclined in flagging for videos than audio. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, you get away with the audio.
Yeah, people on YouTube is like so much. So
doing too much.
Right. That's Nick Cannon. And the next I'll show you the 8 at the Table. The 8 at the Table had different topics. They had talk about should girlfriends get an allowance, so like that. I said, oh, y'all discuss a lot of things, huh? Should like a woman have a body count? Why women lie about their body count and all that stuff. So, all right. So let's share the first thing. Future's text. What was it? That was the first one. First tab. Oh, no, it wasn't.
Get it together, bro.
It's like when you titled it, right? It's they don't freaking it all say Instagram thing. And it doesn't show the title of it. So I had to do like dang it, I had it set up, but I guess
what's up with the production today?
Oh well. It's a lie. So live go what it'll be.
There you go.
Sure, y'all here for a live.
Shit.
All right, here we go. All right, so this is a little text. Whether y'all think it's true or not, whether y'all think it's false or not, it still is wrong for what he said. Okay, y'all know who Future is. Everybody know who Future is. He has a problem creating all these late children with different females and not being there. Well, we don't know if he's not there now, but it's tough to take care of every children when you procreating so much, right? So apparently, a child, his son, texts his father for some clothes and everything. And it was a laughing emoji. I don't know what that was laughing about, or crying emoji. And he said, "Tell your mom." So this child said, "Tell my mom what?" And Future said, "Buy you some clothes." And the child said, "Dad." And he went to say, "Your mom is a hoe." And that's a saying. And I guess the mom said, "You text this to your child. You a real coward. He's 8 years old, stupid." And then that's that post. And she did send something else well, and I follow her page, but she took it down, and I wish I saved it, because usually when you take it down and you save it, you can still have the thing, but I didn't get to save it, so I forgot what she responded to, but she did was blasting him, and he responded back, and it was going back and forth, but the post was taken down for some reason. They probably deleted it. But how do you feel about somebody with just call your child? Like, Future, at the end of the day, she wasn't a hoe when you slept with her. She's not a hoe when you did this. She's not this kind of hoe. And if she was a hoe at all this time you was thinking about, why do you feel like you slept with her with no condom and just had a baby with her and think it was okay?
Where's his decency? Yeah, why would he say that to his son, calling his mom a hoe? That's so out of pocket.
That is out of pocket. And I was like, okay. But he asked you for clothes. He said, "Tell your mom to buy your clothes." I would say he asking you. He can ask his mom, who's the primary caretaker of him. So I'm pretty sure she does buy him clothes. But she's probably saying, "You know what? You can ask your father." Like, ask your father. He's not lying. He could do something. And the fact that he said, "Tell your mom about your clothes," and how you go from dad to your mom as a hoe. It's like, what was that?
You know what the thing is? I think that since these celebrities were all in their business, they're telling their business and stuff. You know, we don't know the things in between. You know, so I don't know if that the whole conversation is kind of skewed. Like, how do you jump from that to your mom's a hoe? You know, so she could have edited it. You know what I'm saying? So,
But
you know,
look,
I don't know. And
closely.
I wouldn't tell nobody that Future is my baby daddy. I would have been like, this, he ain't got no dad. I wouldn't tell anybody that Future was my baby daddy. That's
okay. So if you look at the time, it was when he was texting him earlier. It was 6:07 p.m. And then the last text this child said around that time was dad, but he didn't respond back until 8 o'clock that night. 2 hours later, and say your mom is a hoe. So it probably could be stuff in between, but text messages. I mean, you could alter text messages, but I don't think you would alter that much for you to even come out, even with whatever the content. You still tell your child
right.
that your mom is a hoe. Like, you know how damaging that could be. Let's look at the mental health of the child. It was like, my father just called my own mom who took care of me a hoe. It's like, that does thing to your child. You don't do that.
And that shows that he doesn't care about the child nor the mother that he laid with. But you know what I'm saying? She's a hoe. That is so. It's like out of pocket. I don't know what man would be comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
That you can tell he's not even in the boy's life like that, because you would want him to be nurtured. You know what I'm saying? And believe in his dad. You know, your dad is supposed to be somebody that you look up to, not some fuckboy rapper that's 45.
Well,
Okay.
that's what I was saying. I was like, Future, get it together, man.
Bro, he need to go on a sabbatical. He need to get a vasectomy and all that shit.
Well, Future did something. But yes, Auntie Mama, you're right. Then again, a woman who set herself from being knocked up by Future set them up for stress because he's not there.
Exactly.
And he's never been there. He's always been a douchebag. So I was like, yes, if that's why I understand a lot of females. Can you really blame the men for doing this if the females constantly know he's like this? He's not like he's a regular dude who still does this. Regular dudes does this a lot. But the only thing is that Future is in the spotlight. So when you know he's in the spotlight and you know how he is and his story is always on the forefront. Should you blame him for knocking you up when you know he's gonna be a deadbeat at the end of the day?
No, they got to take some fault themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a serial deadbeat. Okay, he don't take care of none of his kids. Do they even know their siblings? He got so many kids scattered around. Do the baby moms get together to make sure that they have brother and sister ties, or do they have beef with each other? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because these women are overlapping as well. You know, because they're like months back to back. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
It's a shitty situation to just be blunt, okay? Period.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To go that far with that. And but that's the thing, like I said, the mental health of the child, like he's a young boy. So, and you know, sometimes sons are protective of their mothers. So their father who's not in the household, and you go and tell me that my mom is a hoe, it's like, you know, that would make me go older and not liking you.
Exactly. And his reputation precedes him. It's like, and another thing is, Auntie, I think she did alter the text. That's my opinion. But at the same time, she could be clout chasing too. I wouldn't have shared this embarrassing ass conversation with nobody. The shade room, nobody.
Yeah.
But she's kind of clout chasing too. You know, I'm future baby's mom, and look how he disrespected his son. You know, that's some shit you would handle in private. So not only did Future embarrass his son, she just re-embarrassed her own son and put they shit on blast. Like, this is embarrassing.
For real.
My dad, I'm gonna say my dad's name is Rodney now. My dad is not Future.
I mean, it is tough to put that out there, and sometimes, yes, it does make a sense. Why? What's your motive for putting it out there? I mean, you want to, and it's like we already know he's not all that great, so it's not like a surprise.
Yeah,
I would go that far, but maybe he never called anybody else a hoe before. I don't know that. Maybe he probably still think about that, but put that in the text, whether she ought to or not.
He's talking in the mirror because he's a hoe. He's a hoe. He's a hoe. He's a hoe.
My son would kick his ass and talk about me like, yes, I'm saying shit. I'm trying to tell my mom, get out of here.
For real. Get out.
But you not being there in my life like that. Come on now. Sure. She wasn't all that when you was slept with her that created me.
Exactly. And it's time to take you shopping for school. I think it's called new school clothes. You should have been on.
It's like clothes. Like, that's the least he could do. It's not like he asked you to buy him so freaking. What did he ask you to buy? It doesn't matter. You still not around. You still have means and asses to get him some. He asked for clothes. So
he should have already been getting them clothes. His son should have been asking. How about that?
Oh, well.
Everybody know what season it is. These kids need new school clothes and backpacks and shit like that. If he had any responsibility in his body, he would have initiated that himself, and his son would not have to reach out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, he said, your mom's a hoe, so she got money. She got hoe money, so she can buy you clothes. Essentially, let's get to the bottom of the line. That's what he was saying. As long as this nigga been a rapper, we've been talking about his baby mamas. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. And more than his, so I was like, I don't even know you putting up music anymore. He just somebody who's around.
Yeah, he's just in the gossip realm of shit. Like, just give this nigga a shade room tagline. Period.
Well, so I'll say so. She did respond back because he did respond back. You know, Future never gonna stop, not gonna say nothing. So he said something, but when I went back to try to get them now, they delete those posts. But they kept this post up, but they delete the other one. So I said, gosh, I wish I'd have saved
that. Shit is what these celebrities say. They'd be like, any gossip, bad or good, it's publicity for them. So you can tell he's on his fuck shit. He's like, okay, it doesn't matter. They're still talking about me. And that's what he gets. That's what he gets is those tags, that relevance. And that's what she's writing on as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the Britney baby, you gotta do what you gotta do for your son, and don't even think you gotta rely on Future. I think Sierra move on for her life and not rely on Future. I mean, I know she probably won't be the type of person who will keep her son away from him, but she's living her life. So
she might want to protect her son from him because he might be let him go out on an outing. He probably put anything in his son's ear talking about his mama this and that, blah blah blah.
That's what I'm saying.
That toxic masculinity. You know what I'm saying?
And I would dare he would ever call Sierra a hoe. So I was like, oh, now you know he done for.
He can't. You be
done for that. Cause she upgraded.
Super upgraded. She went to the moon. She was like, nigga, bye. Pew.
She was a rap star to a sports star. So I hear that.
For real. And Russell did right by her. He did right by her. He ain't out here embarrassing her. And he took on Future's child as basically not a stepdad. I'm the father now, nigga. So you can't say nothing. I'm stepping in and being a full father, not a daddy, not a baby dad. My family, I took your bitch. I'm gonna do it right. Let's go.
For real.
And speaking of Russell and Sierra, I love seeing that picture of them praying at church. That's really big in relationships. You can have the ability to pray with somebody and be on that little wavelength, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That was so beautiful. And I bet you Future's ass is burning up seeing that. He's like, damn it, man. I bet you that pisses him off.
So much I think he still feels like a way about Russell. Well, you got yourself to blame.
He did it to himself.
That could have been you.
For real.
All right, we're gonna talk about the shade room scenario. Let's do that next. So if you have anything else about the future, yeah, please put it down.
Forget him. His name is Rodney now. We're not even gonna remember him. We just renamed him.
Oh, we're not Rodney.
We just renamed him. Forget his life.
All right.
Okay, wait 2 seconds. Let me
put it all together again. All right, let's do this. There you go. So I'm gonna read it for y'all, and then we will discuss this. All right, so it's 21:43. Like that. I do the timestamps in my videos. So this is a shade room scenario. I like these because sometimes they give you a lot of debates, topics. Let's do this. All right. So they said, is the mama wrong for letting her current husband drive the Mercedes Benz her son's father bought for him? I said Mercedes Benz. I said, what the hell? Okay.
Hell yeah, she's wrong. Let's put that on the table real quick.
My ex-husband called me fussing at me. He recently bought our son a brand new Benz for his birthday and as a graduation present. My current husband had to go to work, so I told him to take my son's car because I had a couple of things to take care of and needed the Altima today. He ended dropping my son off at practice and told him to call me when he was done with practice so I could pick him up. I overslept and missed my son's call to come and pick him up. My son called his dad, but his dad was out of town, so he ended up taking the city bus. This man called me fussing, saying I bought the car for my son, not some grown-ass man. I didn't like my son taking the bus. This is why I got him a car and paying insurance in the car payments. I hung up on his behind. So am I wrong for letting my current husband use my son's car?
Yes, ma'am, you are wrong. Completely wrong, Mrs. Let's get that together. This is the opposite of future. This is a father providing. This is a father making sure his child is protected. Okay? He don't want him on a city bus. They probably live in a dangerous area, crime-ridden. It's probably far as fuck. Okay? And you're gonna let the stepdaddy use the goddamn Mercedes? That is so ugh. Yes, she's wrong. And this is embarrassing for putting it on the internet to get some sort of approval or some shit from people. This is what you keep in your house, baby girl. That's embarrassing. I hope nobody at your church finds out about it. And if her mama's alive, I'm sure her mama will cuss her out over it because that was completely inappropriate.
Yeah, so
come on. He got a whole Mercedes and his dad is paying the insurance and the car note, and you let that some other kid. What?
Yeah. All right. So yes, the father bought the son a car, which is everything and other stuff like that. But I guess the son is in his mom's care, and the stepfather care because in their house. So they tell us that he don't have his own car. I guess the stepfather has his own car. I guess it got broke down, something like that. So she said to take his son's car. So I think that's wrong. Yes, take his son's car. Why he couldn't take your car? But she said she had to take her Altima. Like, My thing is, if you did borrow your son's car, the son's car, you should also pick him up.
Right.
So what was the reason why you couldn't pick him up? If you told her, oh, get your mom going, she overslept. But sometimes that happens. Like, granted, man, I don't think I would overslept. I would go make sure I would pick my son up.
This is not adding up. If she had so much to do,
overslept.
If she had so much to do, why is she oversleeping? You know what I'm saying? You had so much to do. So I'm sure you were up between 2-3 hours to take your son to practice, drop him off. It's not adding up.
Yes,
it's not adding up.
I do agree.
What it looked like, she wanted her nigga to be clean, driving in a Mercedes, and she's probably poking at her ex-husband like, I got my new nigga driving your Mercedes. Ha 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 ha.
Say like that. But yes, I still agree that he has the right to fuss about that. Now, when I go that far to buy my son a Mercedes Benz, I don't know I would do all that because I don't think I have that money to.
Well, maybe he's a star student.
That's too flashy to have your son to have like that, because especially in school, whatever practice, we don't know if it's high school or college. They say graduation process, so we don't know that. But,
baby girl could have remedied this by telling her new husband to take the bus.
I mean, he could take the Uber. He could take an Uber or took a car, but she said no, take my son's car. So yes, I do understand why he'd be upset about that. Now, it is a habitual pattern. It's not that'll be a problem. But if it's like one day that I wouldn't be, because she didn't say it was like constant thing. She just happened is that one day scenario. So if it's that one day, I probably wouldn't been too upset, but at the same time, I will feel like I said, listen, I bought my son car so he won't have to drive. So if y'all go use my son's car, why don't I pick him up?
And another angle is, if that's the son's car, that's his property basically. Why didn't the stepdad be like, can I use your car for the day, stepson?
Yeah, the mom, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. If I would say, no, you ain't getting no keys. You ain't getting my keys. It's like that. So maybe
this is this is completely inappropriate. Yeah. She should delete this like a future baby mom was deleting shit. She should just delete it to tear her whole shit down.
I agree. I want to be pissed. I want to be pissed to the fact that I want to go call her, fussing at her and trying to probably, you never know. It could be because at the end of the day, she is the probably caretaker.
Yeah, but she is. But at the same time, the dad is taking care of the car, like you said.
Yeah, he's taking care of the car, so that's the thing that he's supportive like that. Yes, but at the same time, stuff happens. So if she made that decision to have the stepfather take a car, which is wrong, but at the same time, I would have made a big deal out of it. But at the same time, I would have made a big deal of why y'all not even picking up my son. What happened? Like,
but remember the key part in here. Remember the key part in here. He said he bought him the car because he did not like him taking the city bus. So that's why I'm surmising that it may be a dangerous area to be, have him safe. Plain and simple. So if come on now, this is not hard to figure out.
I mean, it's not hard to figure out, but at the same time, I wouldn't be that pissed off about it. That's me. That's me. Like I said, it is wrong for her to have a stepfather, but at the same time, he's a stepfather. It's not like it's a regular boyfriend. So it could have been like one of the situations that he probably needed to take the car or something like that. But he had to go to work. My problem is that they didn't pick up the son. That's my issue is they didn't pick up the son, and he had to call his father about that. So maybe his son feels type of way about that. So hopefully next time she knows that, no, take my car and don't use his son's car because I don't want to hear his mouth.
And where was the stepdad at? We didn't get that part. Where was he at?
He had to go to work. They said he had to go to work. So she told her husband to take my son's car because she needs to use her car for some things. But when she got home, she overslept and they were oversleeping. So I guess her car was still sending things. She just overslept and then he had to pick up the son.
Okay.
So like that. So when you say you fussing, that means like you have a big deal of having a problem with that. So I guess I don't know what's the issue of the hustle, the mother and father. But he felt like you keep doing it.
I feel him though. I would not. That's not cool at all.
Yeah.
That's not. I wouldn't be comfortable with my ex-wife's new man driving my son's car. That's no, hell to the no.
Yes.
I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't think that's cool, and I think she's out of pocket. Call
Yeah.
it spade, spade, and she shouldn't have put this shit on the internet. I
Uh,
hope none of
yeah, if it was a one day, like I said, I wouldn't be upset if it was a one day. Like if it's a continual pattern, then yes, I would definitely be livid. I said, I ain't buying this son. Like I said, that statement made it seem like, okay, I didn't buy my son car like that. But if it was a one day thing, then I would have been upset. But if it's a homemade continual pattern and the son's like, yo, they keep buying my car, they keep driving my car, then yes, I would be flipping out. I said, oh hell no, I ain't do this for them to keep driving my car and he not driving it himself. So, like I said, it was one day, then I don't make a big deal out of it, but at the same time, I didn't like that they didn't have to pick him up. You should have picked him up. That's the whole thing about it. And she overslept. It happens sometimes, but I would say at the same time, I was like, damn, he had to call his father now. The father's upset that he got you upset. Then everybody's upset.
everybody mad.
Everybody upset. It's like,
Just put that nigga on the bus. Put the new stepdaddy on the bus. Problem solved.
Oh yeah, so yeah, like I said, that's the father could have took the Uber or took her car if she had to oversleep and everything. He probably drive us off to school. So hopefully next time she knows not to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure she know now. She better be lucky that her ex is not petty, because he could have got the car and be like, "Hey, nobody got the Mercedes. If my son want to drive the car, he got to come to my house to get the car. So therefore, that nigga in your house can never drive it or touch it because he got to come to my house if he want to use the car, baby girl."
And then they say that he has, like I said, I'm pretty sure the stepfather. No, maybe they shared that Altima because she said she needed to use the car to do some events. So it was like he could take the car himself, and then I don't know why she couldn't. That's what I'm saying. Why you? That's what I'm saying. It was only two cars in the house, one for the son and one for her. They shared that car. He could have took the shared car, and she probably could have took his car and probably then. But then I don't know. She probably was so tired. She was about to for that too. So and she probably wouldn't have no car. I like. Yeah, so that's that. So we'll see. I don't think there'll be future updates on that, but yes, she's wrong for that one thing. Thank goodness, indeed, cause if it was
that's another thing, bro. I would like for like these salacious stories we find on the internet. Can we get a follow up like Steve Wilkos so we know what happened? Can we get a report afterwards? What happened is, that would be so cool because these stories just come out and they disappear. I'm like, damn, what happened?
And why she could take it? Because I said if the son took his own car and the husband took a car to work, then maybe she was like, "Oh, I don't have no car to drive around and do things." So that's what she was like, make that statement. But then again, she probably know that's not a good idea because the son called his father. So it's like,
yep, she could have drove the son's car and let her new husband use her car, and there would have been no issue. I don't think her ex would have been mad at her driving the car because it's still a household. Like you said, she's the caretaker. She had shit she had to do. She just didn't think the shit out.
Well, she did.
And remember, she said fussing. He didn't curse her out. He was fussing at her. So,
yeah, but fussing means
yeah.
Shoot, fussing.
Right, but there's a difference. I'm sure she was like, he cursed me out and called me all this and that.
Yeah, he just fussed. Yeah, he just fussed.
He was probably upset, but I don't.
Yeah, it's upsetting. But that's that. So, lady, yes, you was wrong. So it was wrong. Like I said, I understand. I wouldn't probably been fussing out. I probably would have been say, listen, I didn't buy my son to go take the bus. So whatever. I understand, but please don't make this a habit because I will make a big issue with it. I will make a big issue with that. All right. Let's get over that. All right. So next is 8 at the let me do that. 34-13. All right, we'll set it up. 8 at the table. Like I said, so this topic is what should women bring to the table if she earns more? So it was a conversation between men and women. It was more men. No, it was more females than it was two guys mainly talking. It was three guys, but one of them wasn't even talking that much and everything. And they had a discussion about if one earns more in the relationship, what she brings to the table. And they had this little back and forth banter going on between a couple people. and what they bring about. So I took some notes. So I want y'all to hear it with me, and we discuss it together. All right. All right, let's do my phone. And let me know y'all can hear it because I gotta post it up.
The goal to whoever is
NBC said 40%.
Yeah, hear it?
As
in 2019.
As of 2019, they are heterosexual relationships.
I'm making more money.
More money than a man.
So if you're making a certain amount and you can't get shit done, then yeah, how are you gonna be with anybody? You know, he provided this home for us. You know, and it doesn't matter who was making how much money. This is our home.
What you're bringing to this table is a service that can be paid for versus what a man has to bring to the table for your life. You can't buy somebody to buy you a home. I could buy somebody to cook and clean for my house. I can't buy a person to come give me a house, give me a car, take care of me. But like, so I don't think Amanda really cares too much about how much you make versus how much she makes. She cares about how much she likes you versus how much she doesn't like you. And I feel like the problem is when women go with a finance mentality into relationships, majority of them fail.
All right, just trying to get a point across. So yeah, Rico did just talk for me, but he was actually pretty correct. You both were saying that we base respect on money, which
No, we said Aaron.
Oh, Aaron.
Not you. Aaron.
Okay, but I just do want to point out that she did say though you could make 40 or 80, but you will have to be able to take care of me. So say Aaron made 70. Even if the man made 40, if he was still taking care of her, then I don't think that
it has to balance.
Yeah, then there's the balance because like you were saying, Rico, it's all about who you are as a man. Like if you were able to be the man of the relationship and take care of what you need to take care of, like in your relationship and like, you know, do the man duties, then it shouldn't really matter how much you make if you're getting it done. If you're making a certain amount and you can't get shit done, then yeah, how are you going to be with anybody?
No, I get you, but like, let's
pause that real quick. All right, so they were basically saying that how if the woman doesn't make more and the guy makes a little bit less and he can't take care of the needs or whatever to the household or take care of the woman, then that will be an issue. Now, how y'all feel about that? If the woman does take more, it should still be a man's job. I'm asking questions, whether it's my thoughts or not. I'm asking questions. It should still be a man's job to take care of her in the household if he make less than her.
It sounds about a bunch of ego to me, to tell the truth, because nevertheless, the financial income, they both still have to take care of the house, the relationship, their children, and everything in between. No one is negating their care. And it's just based on a financial thing. You know what I'm saying? So just like the young lady was saying, no matter what, she's going to take care. The guy, little angry light-skinned guy, who's like, I can buy this, I can pay somebody to do this. You can just tell it was coming from a very toxic place where his view was kind of skewed. You know what I'm saying? So it was like coming off egotistical because nevertheless, they're still going to have to take care of either part. That's why it's called a scale. It's to and fro, you know? So that was a bunch of pish tosh, and it was kind of like a useless conversation, and it kind of made me feel old because it sounded like some millennial shit. Come on. And the other crazy part is, in this day and age, the man can do everything the woman can do, and the woman can do everything the man can do, vice versa. Okay? So they need to get that through their thick ass skulls right there.
Okay, yes, that dude got my nerves. Yes, I do. Yes. So that's what's wrong with y'all.
Yeah, he did. He was giving me real light skin energy.
Sorry, Aaron, that we're using for an example.
Oh no!
But like Aaron also said that she can make 70 and he can make 40 as long as he's taking care of her. But then she also goes back to say that if he's making less money than her, she's more prone to disrespect his manhood, right?
Well, and take it back 2 more steps.
All right, let's pause there. I have a problem with that. Now, if she does make more, now I'm gonna say this: if she does make more than him, and you have no problem you making more than him, if there's no issue, then it is kind of wrong for you bringing it up as an argument to downplay him and trying to diss his finance in front of his face if you know that's the situation. Because I was like, listen, if you know make more than me and you go use that as an argument, and I said, well, I make more than you know, nothing the man, and stuff like that, then that's messed up. Now, on the other hand, now if he has an issue on his own insecurities and he keep bringing that up and trying to downplay her and dissing her, then I won't have no issue for her to keep going back at him, because at the end of the day, you making a big issue. I never made a big issue about that. So I do see both sides. I don't like that. And there are female who does that you make more than the man and you trying to play him as a man because you make more than him. And I don't like that. That's messed up, because you got in this situation knowing that you make more. So to further abuse his ego, whatever it is, you go downplay him out, or you go diss him, you go say something about that when you never had an issue with that before, only when in an argument. But at the same time, if he does come at you and try to play you, and you have been taking care of the house or whatever insecurities, then that's a tit for tat thing kind of thing.
Yeah,
so,
it is a tit for tat thing. That's completely correct, and it goes down to a bruised ego, like you said. Light skin dude sounds like he has a bruised ego. You know, he probably was. He was taking care of a girl, and she was like, "Well, fuck you, nigga," and he's like, "I hate all women now," and so he has a vendetta at the tone of the voice. But the young lady was very responsible. It was kind of like, how can I say this? To be kind, they just need to get over themselves. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it. And I'm tired of everybody getting a fucking table and they want to have conversations yelling at each other. And there's no resolve at the end of these shows. It's just like, I understand the debate process, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, how do you fix the problem? How do you heal that problem that anyone will have in their household besides, no, you should do this and no, this and that. And ugh.
Oh, well, that's what so. Jay Will, he said, how long? Jay Will, if you asking me how long 8 in the table been around, I don't know. I just thought I heard about this. This is my first time hearing it. I heard about that dude, Jamie That's Me channel, and she talked about this. And then Barney Blue talked about that. So I said, let me subscribe to the channel and see what they talk about. And they have a lot of topics they discuss.
This is the same one where it's the same show where it was like a few weeks ago. The guy was telling a young lady she's not worth nothing but her vagina, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
And they have those type of debates, and it's like it gets very heated. But again, they don't leave with no goddamn resolve. They just all leave mad.
Okay. Now, you see, I don't like the mentality. Don't disrespect him because he make less, especially if he's still taking care of him. Yes, I agree. Don't disrespect him because I don't like that. And he said, but if he's an ass and don't make as much as me, it's a rap. Yes, that's what I'm saying. If he's been a butthole about it, and then that's a different story. Then I was like, okay, you know what, man? I never make an issue about this, but if you gonna keep playing me, then we could go there.
Exactly.
Right? It's like that. But that's something. So let's continue on.
More inclined to disrespect him if he does something or says something. But see, that's the thing. I don't play those games, and my husband knows that about me. You come for me, and I'm not dilly-dallying around. Like, I'm literally going to say the most hurtful thing that I can to you. No, I'm not. I don't argue. That's the thing. Like, I will walk. I'm serious. I will walk away. I will say, okay. But if you literally take it there and you disrespect me, you do something disrespectful, you're asking for that wrath. You're asking for that heat. So you shouldn't feel a certain way when I disrespect you. You already know what's in my mind. You know me.
I think she's saying, like, if somebody takes it there first.
Yeah, exactly.
Then she's gonna go full force. I understand.
Yes.
And that's gonna happen.
Especially if the woman is making more money and, hypothetically speaking, like, paying for more things within the household, naturally, like, the man's masculinity is going to be threatened. So when he kind of, like, talks sideways to the woman who's basically the one paying the bills because she's making more, like, of course she's gonna put up like argument.
But what if she's not paying?
Okay, so she mentioned something how the man is going to be automatically fragile and masculinity will be hurtful if he's been with a woman who makes more. I said, then that's something that you should take care of before you get to a woman who makes more money than you. Because if I would have an issue, like me, I don't care. I know what I have. I know I could take care of myself. I know I could do what I need to do. If I get with and they make more than me, then as long as you don't try and throw it in my face that you make more than me, there's going to be no issue. I won't have no issue. But if you go throw that in my face, then that's a problem. But I won't have no insecurities if you make more than me. I say, hey, you got new needs and assets. You can do more things for us. So it is what it is.
I think they need to get off the financial shit and talk about their communication because they keep bringing that up. And the other young lady just addressed, she knows that that's going to be a trigger point to hurt her partner. You know what I'm saying? To hurt the person that you love. And I think that's the biggest problem, you know what I'm saying? That you pull out all the guns. You understand you got your feelings hurt and blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? But come on, you just can't hit below the belt. You know what I'm saying? You can have a right to defend yourself, you know, to call out the wrong, you know, to make it right, but you don't hit below the belt, especially it's like you can't. It's like if what's the other side of this? If he was like, bitch, you can't cook. That will bruise her ego, as in her telling him you don't make enough money. So it's the same thing. You're attacking. Yeah, you get what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's the flip side. And let's continue on. But I'll say if your natural instinct will be insecure because she makes more than you, then that's something you need to work on. Or don't get a woman who makes more than you, or get a woman who has the same financial status as you. It's like that. If you're going to be naturally insecure and having masculinity questioned,
right?
Or you question your own masculinity because of it.
Because that sounds like he's questioning his own masculinity.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a difference between a woman making more and a woman paying bills. Right? Because I can pay the bills for everything, and she makes more money than me.
Now I'm about to say, like,
so if I make $80,000-$90,000 a year, and that roof that you live under is under my name, and everything that goes on is under my name, and I'm the one paying it, but you make $110,000, you still can't say much to me.
There still has to be some form of mutual investment.
Here's my question for you guys.
The thing about it is, and he makes a great point, because if I make 60 and you make 80, and we live in an apartment that's just say $1,800, say $2,000 a month, right? So if you're not paying the rent, I'm the person that's paying the rent. You might be paying a light bill, but and at the end of the day, if I'm paying the rent, you saved what? That's $24,000 a year. So how are you going to disrespect me? You won't even be saving goddamn $24,000 a year.
You're right. And Amanda alluded to that. She's saying if you make less, okay, cool. But if you make less and you still can't take care of the basic necessities in this relationship or in our house, that's the problem. If you make less and you fail to monetize a skill that you have that financially benefits our household, that's a problem. Okay, cool. You make 60, but you're also an electrician. That brings in 40,000 extra in our house a year. That means all the lights, the ceiling fans, all the shit electrically based or whatever, you take care of it. So that's monetizing what your skill is. So it adds to our household.
That's called providing. And I want to make sure that y'all understand that men provided more.
Okay, so they mentioned how. What is saying? All right, mentioned how yes, if you make less and you can't provide the basic necessities in a household, then yes, I do agree. It's gonna be a problem, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you make less or not. If you can't contribute to something like the basics, like food or clothes, or something like that we probably need in the household and that make us sustainable, then, or lights and gas, anything that makes it sustainable for the household, at least contribute that. What about if she make more, she does pay the rent and you pay the bills, or you pay the rent? It doesn't matter. All that necessities need to be met. And no matter, not the wants, the necessities that you need to have: shelter, food, light, gas, all that stuff. So I do understand that. Now, she did mention something about how if you make less and you fail to enhance your skills or monetize the skills that you have, that problem is that it made it seem like, okay, if you make less, then go out and do a trade to make more money, to get more money to help the household. I'll say that's the case, I should say go out and learn how to clean house better or something like that. You like it's something like that. So just because he make less, do he have to go do a trade? Like, do he have the time to go out and learn to another thing or school or something like that? He could have the means to get someone to do it, so like that. So it make him less than a man or something like that because he can go out there to get that trade or make monetize of the electrician, so like that. Unless if he already has that, he should be making the money for that. Now, all that stuff. So
I think they're being way too gender specific. Like you should do
yeah,
this.
that's what I'm saying. I was like, what do you mean? Like, oh, if he doesn't have that, you fail to monetize the skill. I said, okay.
The conversation is very misogynistic and it's also very misogynistic as well on both sides. And it's like, what the fuck is y'all arguing over? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
In this day and age, you lucky if you can keep a relationship because everything, everybody wants to have a goal, of someone more financially wealthy, somebody prettier. But y'all just need to be glad y'all, It's like, I don't see it.
Well, so
and to be honest, I've had these conversations with my partner. You know what I'm saying? Finances are a very important thing, but it's a whole car that you have to drive that has to you have to take care of everything, not just one aspect. You just can't get around on a tire. You need the engine, you need the oil, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's continue on.
Or than just a financial way. And that's my problem because if I sit here and ask, okay, cool, if I pay every bill in this house, right, and I fix everything in this house because I'm an electrician, what do you bring to the table as a woman? What do you realistically do other than have sex?
Oh, you asking me?
I'm asking you.
Okay, personally. So are you asking her as a woman that makes more?
If I'm just asking, what are you bringing? Actually, and every lady here, I want to know, what are you bringing to the table for the man that takes care of you?
Here we go. And take notes. So what I do is I make that house that you pay for, that you pay that mortgage for, I make it at home. I cook the meals. I'm washing clothes.
That's $100 a week.
Don't play with me.
I can get laid.
No. You see that? And see, that's where you're going wrong. It costs more than $100 a week to have somebody cook for you, to have somebody clean up after you. Because a lot of times you men become our children. All right, we dress y'all, we pick out y'all clothes, we cook for y'all, we wash y'all's clothes, we clean up behind y'all. When y'all leave your little piss on the floor.
You're a good woman, and that's what you do. But it's a lot of. I own a barbershop. I was talking about me. I got you, but you're saying we. Speak for yourself, because I work in a barbershop, right? And I own my own shop. The men complain that it started off that way. But then they start slacking. They don't do what they don't keep up with that same type of energy, but they expect the men to keep
exactly very
in that aspect. So I'm hearing the complaints. So you can speak for yourself, but a lot of women say, I don't want to cook.
But I keep saying that.
But they don't want to cook.
Okay, let's stop right there. So it was a couple of things that was just mentioned out of those segment. One thing was, if I provided everything in the house, what can you do for me that's what the guy said, Rico. What can I do for me? What you can do for me as a woman in the house? If I provide everything, what can you do? She said, I can make the house a home. And I was like, this is different dynamics of the thing.
Yeah.
Responsibilities in the household. I was like, okay, if we're providing, then I do the household duties. Also like that. It's something agreement between both partners. Now, you may say that, if I provided everything, even though you make more money than me, so what can you do for me? That's what we do for our household. And she said she's making a home. And she said she cooks, she cleans, stuff like that. And so like he said, I could buy something like that. And she said, she's true. It's like, yes, you can get a maid, whatever. They get a maid if you want to get a maid. But at the same time, if you go get a maid, that's something that we both want. Then I don't have to do all this stuff. I can use my money for something else. I like something like that. So you try to say that, because if we provide everything, that's like a competition that I do this and you not providing no monetary value. So I was like, that's messed up. Now, another thing he said about he owning the barbershop and the guys complain about, it starts off that way and then it stops. Which is which I understand what he was saying is because in relationships, people do start off with doing things and then after a while, they stop doing what they started off doing. And when you create a pattern in the beginning, people will expect you to continue that pattern after a while. Yes, people change and people develop and grow. But if you have the basic understanding of what your relationship will be and have beginning, then you should be able to do it. Like he said, if the men are expected to continue no matter what happens to maintain a household, that it should not far-fetched for him to think that you should be able to still continue to say what you do after that's an agreement between both parties. It's like that. So even they could lose his job and you still expect him to do that. So should he expect you to still continue to cook and clean and all that stuff? So what y'all thought about that? Go you around?
Okay, sorry. No, that man left his whole trunk open. My neighbor was like, the trunk is open. I had to run downstairs and sprint. Sorry. Okay, but where were we at?
I was discussing two things. I would say the one thing is about household thing, and you providing all the stuff and you paying everything, what can a woman bring to the table? And she said providing the home stuff. And now that's one thing. And then the second thing that the men said, complaining about how it started off that way, the women stop. And they expect the men to continue to still provide, even though they bring their agreement of still providing a home. So I do understand what that guy was saying at that part, is that if I expect to continue to pay for the bills and stuff like that, then I suspect you continue to do the household stuff like that.
Yeah,
now,
because
if you want to stop doing that, then if I lose my job, then should you pick up paying the rent and stuff like that and not do the household stuff? Like, what's the stuff? So it was two things. So I wanted y'all's opinions about those.
Basically, he's saying you took me for my faults before. Why can't you take me for my faults now? Like the piss on the floor and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you were regularly doing those things before we got here, before we got to our riches. So why is it a complaint now? It's based off finances and I do this, I do that. They just need to change the motherfucking dynamic a little bit, and it just sounds it's just fucking gender based. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It seems like they want the men, especially the little angry light-skinned one, Rico was his name.
Yes.
I think he just want somebody to like cater to him. You know what I'm saying? Since I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And it's that mentality like treat me like a king, because I do this, I provide this. It's like, no, treat her like a queen because she actually provides for you, nigga. She feeds you, nigga. Okay, you may buy the fucking chicken, but she has to cook the chicken, put it on a plate. Make sure it's to your own fucking liking, because you know how some men are. Oh, I don't like the chicken like this. I don't want it like this. You got to cook it like my mama. And those are the things that they overlook. Okay, those are the caring things, the enduring things that person that has that role acknowledges. It's just not, the buck. So in this conversation, again, it's nice to listen to. It's kind of funny as fuck, but the men sound a little bit emotionally immature.
Yeah, they do.
And for their standards and stuff, So if the same question is, the only thing you bring to the table is money. What else can you do? So if you're questioning my behavior, let me put yours on the table too, bro. That's all you're doing.
That's how I say it. Yeah, I agree on my mom. They said that's men too. Just like just not women. When men first completely change up after they get the ring on you. Yeah, that's true. They could do change up on you after they get the ring on you, other aspect. But usually most of them stay that one little mindset of providing. Hey, Brittany, what's going on? How you doing? So most of them have that one set mindset. I provided and that's it. Whether they change the other aspect, whether they change of being faithful to you, whether they change of doing other stuff or they foul, they still have that one thing. I provide the household duties. You should do this for me and all stuff like that, which is kind of messed up because at the end of the day, it's like, yes, stuff could happen. Now,
and we got to listen to what Homeboy said. He basically said, I can go buy some pussy. I can go buy somebody to clean my house. I can pay for anything, but what are you there for? So his mentality is already skewed. He already knows what he's going for. So as soon as she switches up and makes him uncomfortable, oh, I don't need you no more. I can go pay for anything. You know what I'm saying? So
he said besides sex. I was like,
himself.
Yes, that's good. That's true. And then he said, oh, well, men become our children. Now, that's the part right there. So I'll start treating your man as to your child. He's a grown-ass man. He should be able to pick up himself. He should be able to clean for himself. He should be able to do all that stuff like that. Now, if he kept doing that and he expected you to do that, then he going to expect you to continue doing that. So I would not be treating nobody, no child as it is. No. You're a grown man, and I'm a grown person, and I'm not treating you as a child. So you said if you had to become the role of a parent and you're supposed to be a wife, then that's an issue. Oh, he was named for that, and it was so confident about it too. Yes, right, right, Brittany. So that's crazy. Now let's continue on what you're saying. But that buying stuff, I say it does take more. So it's not $100 a week like you keep saying it was for someone to take care of you. But at the same time, they could do all the household duties. But if you need someone to warm body lay at night, what are you gonna do?
For real.
I keep saying that we talking about Aaron Campbell.
Okay.
About Aaron Campbell.
So don't say we.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's backtrack. I make a house a home. All the furniture you get to come home and lay up on, I pick that shit out. You know what I'm saying? When the paper towels go away in the bathroom, you know who goes to the store to get them, you know who gets on Amazon to get that? All the shit that you don't even think about that makes your life easier, I do that. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question, right? Everything that you're telling me can be bought. Guess what? I can have an assistant order me paper towels and toilet paper and groceries on Amazon. Actually, I get Whole Foods delivered to my house weekly. It's a subscription. I get meal preps every week. My meal preps is $120 and I get 3 meals a day. I make myself my own breakfast. That's 4 square meals. I have another cleaning lady. She charges me $100 a week to come clean. You are only saving me $600. In a nutshell,
maybe you
$600 to $800. But what I'm saying,
maybe I live in a 5,000 square foot home. I'm managing
your
that
services can be paid for. So what are you bringing outside? Listen, if you ask a man, what is he bringing to the table? I'm bringing a house to the table
that I can also pay for myself.
Okay, but you're not.
But I can.
But you're not.
But I can.
But you're not, and you're not willing to.
I am willing to. I was taking care of myself before I was married.
And then you got married and stopped taking care of yourself.
Multiple mortgages. I still take care of shit. That's the thing.
Listen, I'm not saying you can't make money. What I'm saying is what you're bringing to this table is a service that can be paid for versus what a man has to bring to the table for your life. You can't buy somebody to buy you a home. I could buy somebody to cook and clean for my house. I can't buy a person to come give me a house, give me a car, take care of me, and make sure all my bills are in the house.
I can still do that. That's what
I'm not saying that you can't. I'm saying that you're not. And I'm saying that you're not willing to.
You understand what I said? I've done it before that.
They asked Aaron to speak for herself, and then when she speaks for herself, they denying what she's saying. It's like, what is
this?
It's like
that's that man shit. Talking over her.
Oh, you can't. Or you thinking generally, or you asking her specifically. Because if you ask her specifically, she said she could do that herself. So we arguing about that, and then you went generally. I said, all right, so you asked her for a general perspective as a woman, or you asked her specific of her own situation. Because I could have sworn y'all asked for her own opinion. So she give her own opinion, and you going off and arguing about her what she can or can't do. She said she could do this herself, which I do understand. Like, yes, she could do all that stuff herself. She could buy her own house. She could buy her own car. She could do stuff like that. So she doesn't need a man for doing that. So like that. But at the same time, what else? What you were saying about? Oh, I could do all that stuff, and I could buy this and buy that. I can't buy someone to buy me a car. I said, granted, because the course takes a lot of money. Sure, somebody just buy me. I can pay someone on the street to get me a house. I mean, it's a realtor and stuff like that. But at the same time, when you try and say like, oh, I could just get someone to give me the services and I can just get a house and move in the next week. No, that's not like that. It was like
it's not that easy, homie. He thinks it's like easy peasy, just like dust my hands off. No.
Yes. No. What he said.
When me and my partner first got together, we got our first apartment. I had a running joke like he thinks like a fairy comes in and does the laundry. Like if somebody just comes in and magically bling the laundry. No, it's a whole thing. But at this point now, we both do the fucking laundry. So you had to go through those dynamics.
Yeah.
When you were trying to make a house a home. Because that's love and care put into a house to home. Like she said, that's your place of comfort. That's when you come from the outside, from dealing with everybody out there working, you have a place to rest your head where you're just going to be comfortable, you're going to get fed, and you will get catered to. There's nothing wrong with catering to each other. It's when you grandstand and put it to a point like this. They're grandstanding right now. It's okay to take care of each other. It's okay to have comfort in one person. motherfucker.
Yes. Yeah, Timon, she's not, I know. She went back. The men have tendencies to have childlike behaviors within the mixture. Yeah, I agree. I understand that. Yeah, I do understand what she's saying. Let's see.
But
So
on the other side of the coin, women do as well. Why? Because you cater to each other.
yeah.
And that's when you like, I can't have this now. You always gave it to me. Like, why you gonna stop this now? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes. As especially if they're mama's boy, they want you to be as good as their moms as a wife is, like having another child time. I do understand that. Yes, they are mama's boy who want their wife to take care of them like their own mom to take care of them. They say, "Oh, you don't do it like my mom." I said, "Then marry your mom, then sure." Let me see.
Don't marry your mama, bro. Don't marry your mom.
Marry your mom, then and can't do it like your mom. Sure. He sounds. That's right, Auntie. He sounds done. Brittany said someone broke his heart or sounding because he is sounded as dumb.
Exactly, Brittany.
Yes, somebody broke his heart. Rico, come on, you need a hug.
He need a hug. He giving me hurt light-skin energy like a motherfucker.
He telling us so. He pay for coochie. Yes, because it basically seems like it's like, okay, if I do this, it's like a competition. It's kind of like a competition. Like y'all one up with each other. If I make more, you make more money, then you need to provide something. So besides sex, what else can you do? I'll say, so what's the agreement between a relationship? And another lady gonna say that, so we're gonna get to that point. Is that an agreement in a relationship is like, I do this and you do this. That's the agreement of relationship. But if y'all coming into no understanding of what your goal in marriage is, and y'all expecting this person to do this and this person to do that, and there's no conversation, it's like y'all have expectations. So no, she doesn't give more than the coochie, and you pay for coochie. Like you think the coochie goes trying to be a housewife all of a sudden? No, you pay for this 90 girl, boy.
Wait, what's this down? You can't turn a hoe into a housewife?
Yeah. So you pay for that. That's all you're gonna get. So you're not buying. You ain't paying me to be on maid or cook or like that. If I don't do that all that stuff in the first place. So if you think I'm just gonna give him the box, then that's all you're gonna get, the box. So for the wife,
that's all you signed up for. That's all you signed up for. That. Come on, man.
Well, don't do something different. So, and then you argue with Evan when she said it like that. I was like, come on now.
I'm just gonna interject here. Can I do that? So I just want to say that besides Aaron, I feel like other women have a different approach on what they bring to the table. So me specifically, I'm not a female that says I cook, says I clean. I could definitely do all those things, but I definitely don't want anyone to feel like that's my job as a woman in a house. So yeah, I'm not going to come and say that that's what I'm doing. Me as a female, as a boss, as an entrepreneur, I'm going to dish the money. You'll never know that I make more than you, that I make less than you. I'm always going to treat my partner as an equal. Me, even if I'm making more than you, I will never want to take the masculinity away from my partner in saying, oh, well, I make more and blah, blah, blah. But if we're going to go half and half on the bills, I'll pay this bill and this bill, what you paying this month. I'm going to dish out the money. And I've always been.
Listen, you could tell, first of all, you're not going to be my wife and I don't know how much money you make. That just doesn't even make sense to me.
It's not like literally you don't know how much I'm making, but I'm not going to make it obvious in our households. But let's talk about. He's bringing up something real.
So say if you and your say if you and your man, right? Y'all partner, you and your partner, right? You got you're equal, right? According to Amanda, you're equal, right? Y'all got $10,000 in the joint account, right? You make more money than her.
Can we clarify how the 10,000 got there? Oh no, is it 50-50?
Yeah,
listen, it can be. Listen, you're right. Just say you put in. It's 50-50. Just say it's 50-50. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep it even because that's your equal, right? So now there we go. So now this man, he needed a car, right? You make more money than him. You got a car, and he takes $9,000 and go buy a car. How would you feel?
I wouldn't put up with that. And I know, but I'm gonna just say like this. So I do work hard for my money, and I'm only downplaying how much money I make to, I don't know, appease you.
Wait, bro. Bro. Listen, you notice how a lot of men they target women because women have taken on a lot of masculine traits with taking care of the household, being the mother and the father. When these niggas ain't even acknowledging that they done took on bitch traits, not to be disrespectful, like they want to be pampered and this and that, you know what I'm saying? You have to buy up my car, you know what I'm saying? So they're not this is so infantile. It's like they're not realizing now that they are expecting the woman to bring in everything they're saying that hurts their masculinity. You know what I'm saying? The money and stuff like that, and like it's very convoluted. This is, you know what? I think we need Ayana right now. Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
Yes, Brittany, he is single. As I know, from what he's talking about here.
If you ever heard a single nigga before talk, we heard one now. You can tell how a single nigga talks.
Okay, so they mentioned something about how she said people treat your partner as equal, also like that, make more money. I ain't gonna never discuss it or make it known that I make more money and like that. So they discuss about the joint account, and y'all put money into it equally. They say 50-50. And he want to get a car, she would not be okay with that because it's a joint account. I said, of course it would be not okay with that because it's a joint account. It's both money put together. Now the joint account for what is that joint account supposed to be for? They didn't discuss that. Now, if you need a car, it's like that, then we need to discuss that. But using a joint account is something else. And you took 9,000 out of that, it was supposed to be 10,000. You took the old 9,000 when half my money is there. So you took more than a little bit, half my money to spend your car.
One key point, they did not discuss him buying a car first. Yes. So you can't roll up with a new car. You should have discussed it first. Man.
Yeah, it's like, if you buy a car, what's like that? Just because it's a joint account doesn't mean that you could just do whatever you want. It's like that. No, you still have to discuss it because y'all had to discuss it to make it a joint account. Then you discuss it to have it. That's why, like Auntie Mama said, doesn't matter if a wife or one. I feel like when you get a marriage, you should have your own account and a joint account. A joint account for your marriage thing and your own personal account. It's like that before you get a marriage, because at the end of the day, you don't know how to happen. So everything y'all made together, y'all put that in a joint account, and then when you made for yourself, you put in your own separate account because if y'all do split, you have your own set of money. So don't put everything up in that joint account because you need to put a home stash for yourself. That's old security for your own thing. So I feel that way. My mom told me that. I said, always keep money for yourself. Don't always put all, if you get in a relationship, you don't all put your whole money into that joint. You have a joint account. And so if y'all do split up, that joint account is what y'all split in between. It's like that. But exactly. My mom always taught me to never depend on a man's doing before me and man to buy me all the things and be offer. It's always a plus and not a must. Hey, I hear that, Brittany. All right. Exactly. For me. All right, and then the last thing she said was, she said I hide on my status of my income, financial status, so I won't downplay or shut him out as he making less than me. I was like, so I put the question is, should you downplay to make the person feel better if you make more than them? And I said, no. Should you downplay your financial status to please the other partner? And if that's the case, and what will come about with that if you downplay it? Because if you downplay it, it's not going to make it better. Because now you say, you're making a conscious decision to say that, I got to keep this to myself. It's like that because I know I make more money than him because I know he going to feel type of way. So, or she going to feel type of way if I make more. So I'm going to downplay it. I said, should you downplay yourself for another person?
No. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Everybody has different skills besides fucking. That makes no sense. You should want to see each other at your greatest. You should know your potential. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if times get hard, you know that person's gonna have your back any way, shape, or form. You know that person's capable of having your back, in so many other ways besides their main focus, the financial part. That is a very important thing, but it seems like, remember the girl said in the beginning, she was like, if you come at me, you know I'm taking all armors off. I'm saying anything to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? and it should be some limit, some understanding. You know what I'm saying? It could be a conversation, it could be an argument. You can be fussing at each other, but you never go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're just waiting to tear up the fucking the papers and be like, divorce right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck it.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah, the joint account is for the household, and a separate account. Yes, you should have your own separate accounts to get you one. So if he wants himself a car, he should put his money in his own personal account and buy himself with that car, with that money that he put himself to the side. And the joint account is touched for the household stuff. So I agree with that. So you don't use a joint account for your own personal stuff if that's supposed to be together for the household. And let's see. And I'll be damned if I never dim my life. Yes, you should never dim your life for anyone. Anybody you are, if you're a man or woman, you should never dim your life to please someone else.
Anybody, not even your partner, for nobody else in the world, you should not dim your life.
You should never dim your life, because if you do that, that means you know that that's an issue, a soft spot for the other person. So you want to please that person, but dimming your own self, that's not a good look. It's gonna be hurting you in the long run. They're not hurting them. So you never should dim your light for that other person. Let me see.
I guess, but I do want to reference. I never remember this movie every time I want to talk about it. But that Tyler Perry movie where Janet Jackson got the HIV because her husband was cheating. Anybody know that
something
movie?
For Black girls.
For color girls.
Yeah,
right. She was a lawyer. She made more money than her husband, and her husband took out a lot of the money out of their joint account. And she was pissed, and I understand that's not okay. But and then now I do want to reference Crazy Rich Asians, where the girl felt guilty for having way more money than her husband, so she used to shop on the low. So that's maybe something I would do, but not like shop on the low, but have a different account.
But what is the problem? Please help me out here. What is the problem for a man don't mind his woman making more money than him? What is the problem?
I don't personally believe that there is a problem for people who make that decision. If that
hold on.
It's your decision to not feel a certain way, baby, that's on you. But as for me, in my house, this is how I feel. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of women of a certain age and of a certain tax bracket may feel the same way.
Well, I see.
Okay. So the guy asks, what is the deal or what is the problem if a woman make more? And the problem is, it's not really a big deal problem if you feel like it's not a big deal problem in your own self. I think the only issue is that, and maybe they understand the point, is that a lot of women, even though they probably make more, they still hold that traditional value that the man should provide. So if he doesn't make as much as me, and I'm the more provider, I could make the me to be the provider, but he's still a man, then the man should be able to do this no matter what. And at the end of the day, it's just a household thing. It should be a household of compromising, a household of agreements and what you could be doing in the household. So I think in that aspect, as people still pick and choose what part of traditional values they want in their relationship, even though their relationship itself is not traditional. And we had that discussion in my channel of traditional versus non-woman. We had that discussion, y'all. Yeah. So we had that, and how people do pick and choose. So it's not a big deal, but people still does make it a big deal that a man is not making as much as female if the woman make more and the man's not providing. So I do understand some of the frustration about where they're coming from with that conversation. But even though their conversation is immature, but at the same time, that aspect, it is somewhat kind of a big deal if the man doesn't make as much as female and he try and take the household. He's supposed to be the head provider of the household. So I understand where he was coming from, but it's not a big deal now into 2021 if that's the agreement that y'all discuss it as a partnership. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a competition. It's supposed to be a partnership in the household. So how y'all feel about that?
Am I the only one, or is their whole conversation like exhausting?
It's a conversation to be had, so it's like it's funny.
It's like, okay, come on guys. I think it's like, again, it's hard to listen to because there's valid points across the board, but it all sounds like grandstanding. So it's just like, damn, that's a waste of a podcast, a film. But I get it. But it's like one thing, because I'm in a gay relationship, you know, I'm sure there's dynamics in a hetero, the dynamics of each relationship they reflect, you know what I'm saying? But with two men in the house, you know what I'm saying, both egos, you know what I'm saying, that could be a blood and crip fight real quick, you know what I'm saying? Two men, you know. You know, like if it's like a male and one, a female and a male, you know, sometimes the male will be more aggressive or the female will be more aggressive because they know how far they can take it. You know, like she said, hitting below the belt. And again, I'm keep going back to resolve because this shit is fucking exhausting. And it sounds like all the guys is trying to get dates. They trying to date all the girls. I could do this. What you gonna do for me? You know what I'm saying? It's like the roles are reversed with a man's prowess. Be like, yeah, I make this much money, ha ha ha. And now the women are like, I make this much money, ha ha ha. And now the guys are like, but what can you do for me? So the roles are switched. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's like the dynamic they're not understanding, and that's why they're emotionally kind of insecure. All of them, all the men, all the women, all of them, all. Of
them. Yeah, that. Yes, it's getting down to the wire, y'all. It's last little 6 minutes. All I'm saying.
And I kind of agree with one thing that she says, and she said of her age, and that's a big factor because you know I really, really sat down and thought about this, and I personally feel like you know you got the typical traditional way, right, where the man has to provide the house and everything, right? Because growing up in the 1985, let's just say, or 1940s, women had less rights or made less money. So the man had to compensate for the restrictions that they placed on women. But now we're in 2021. There is no restrictions on women.
Rico.
Women can get a great job. Women do have great jobs.
That's
women
right.
have the right to go to
Is
college.
that equal pay?
Yes, actually.
No,
time out, guys. Time out, guys. I want to We're gonna get right into that, but I want to let you know there is equal pay, but it is multivariate. But before I dive into that, women do have that great right, and they deserve it. I'm not saying that women don't deserve it. I'm actually happy to see that women can do everything that a man could do in terms of any occupation or any type of earning money or earning a salary. And now in 2021, when a woman can make the same amount of money as a man, like when I went to college at Montclair State University, 63% were women. You understand? That means 37% were men. That means there was almost double women in a college institute that I was in.
That means y'all run the work. Y'all actually, there's more y'all in the workforce. So
exactly,
men probably make more money if they get that position. But people like us of color, right? They actually want to hire the black woman because you're a woman and you're a minority. So for us, we still trying to get that job. So yeah, if I got that position that you was in, yes, I will make more money than you. But the thing is, if I could get that position, so it still balances out, which is why 40%, going back, he used 38%, but CNBC said 40%
as of 2019.
As of 2019, they are heterosexual relationships.
Are making more
money than the men.
So because there was like almost double females at the college, it's probably just based on the fact that like men can work for, you know, the union or blue collar jobs where like women typically don't apply for those jobs. They have to go to school to get that, you know, career that's going to give them that check, you know, anything STEM, anything with benefits, like with COVID-19, you know, healthcare. That's really what's like super current, like right now. Will I be okay and sustain if anything were to happen to me, like in a hospital or anything? But within the relationship, there has to be like, regardless of whatever is happening in the household, regardless of whoever is taking the responsibility of the mortgage, the other party has to have this opportunity based on the standards of the relationship to contribute and make investments to the household. And if not, if the male prefers that, you know, he just wants to take care of it and he wants to hire people to take care of it, okay, then let's talk about the entrepreneurship. Let's talk about real estate. Okay, so let's talk about this next property. Babe, I want to put my money into this and, you know, let's double it. let's triple it, you know, let's quadruple it. You know, that's an alpha female and an alpha male, you know, they probably don't argue about money because they're probably just making it work for them. You know, if you have it, why not double it? And any woman who is making significantly more or less, and it doesn't matter who has more or less, although the 50-50 investment is there, then the relationship is gold.
Yeah, and I mean, and I say this all the time. I really personally feel as if there always has to be contributions, and the relationship has to be reciprocal. I'm not going to get into any, especially like me. I'm not the newest generation, but I'm like on the edge of the newest and the one right before it. So I kind of see both aspects, and I personally feel like I watch a lot of women be successful, and I watch a lot of women not successful. Right? Same thing with men, but at the same time, I'm focused on my partner. So my spouse, as a woman, I'd rather choose the one that has the success rather than choose the one that doesn't have the success. And if you do have the success, then I'm asking you to contribute your success to whatever me and you have. So whether it is, maybe I might take care of the house. Well, cool. Well, then let's start a business. We'll use your money for investments. But you have to contribute something. Otherwise.
Yeah, of course. But this is just like with that expectation, like doubling back to Aaron, like taking the bare minimum of taking care of me. You know, there's just a honest traditional sense of security in that. As a woman, you know, he provided this home for us, you know, and it didn't matter who was making how much money. This is our home.
Until you get upset.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I mean, like,
disrespectful.
Oh my God. I mean,
That was the end of that, y'all. So how y'all feel about the last little part of it? Let me say, boys these days.
I already said I'm over it.
Bums that for everything. They afraid of the female even seeing potential in themselves because they are boss up. Yes, I agree. Never see that part with me. It's like nails on chalkboard. Yes. Yes. So like I say, just because a lot of people still hold that outdated, like we discussed this before in my channel, outdated notion of traditional values, they bring that up to this now these days and say, listen, we had to have this whole point. And I understand that a lot of people still raise their child and their children this way as well. We taught that the boys need to provide, they need to have money, it needs to be work. We taught the females need to take care of the man, and do this, is that. You mean you're less than a man. And you still see that today. It's like the woman don't have no value if they have a man in their arms. It's like that. It could be a long discussion about this, but they was discussing about what women could bring to the table if they had more money. And it's like at the end of the day, they could bring a lot more to the table and just as much as the man is, but what he wants is something that's like monetary value of it. If you providing things that you're providing a home, he doesn't see no value of the homeness because you're not putting no money into it. I was like, that's stupid. It's like this because she didn't make no money into it or not. She's still providing a partnership in the household. So it's still security of necessities that need to be done. So hopefully he can change that mindset that he has and Rico about that. And if you do get a relationship with someone who has more money, it should be an equal partnership of what y'all need to decide of what you do with that money. Now, if you want to decide you want to have a maid in the house, tell your spouse that you want to have a maid. So she won't have to cook it clean for you. Y'all have the spouse to cook it clean for both of y'all. Wash dishes and take clothes and watch all that stuff. And that's something y'all can save your money and pay for that. And y'all can use that money for something else. So, but don't say because you have this wife and then they say, oh, I could do all that stuff for me. But what you have a wife for? If she could just save you money and just not have all that stuff. So it's the whole little thing with that. And if you read the comment section in our video, it's just polarizing. So
I wish there was another responsible adult in that that meeting.
And it's funny, it's
to help the dialogue out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. There was another guy there. He didn't say nothing. It was another female that she didn't say nothing. I said, "Why is 8 at the table? It's like 7 y'all, and it's only like 1, 2, 3, 4." Like,
we needed, what's his name, Royce Watkins. That we Judge Mathis in the bitch or something. Because this conversation, I'm sure it's across America with all genders, with all partners, with all types of couples. And it would have been fruitful for, you know what I'm saying, for us to hear it and get a response that was fruitful besides them just talking bullshit.
yes. So yeah, I want to share this with y'all. I'm not gonna play the clip because I don't want to show it, but y'all watch the clip, and then we will discuss a little bit. It's something with a little 2-minute clip, not 2 minutes. It's like a 2 second, something like that, of Trey Songz and something at a party. I don't know if y'all probably saw it already, but I want y'all to see it and tell me how y'all feel about that.
Oh Lord,
So the click right here. Click on that. Let me share it to you. So I'll give y'all a minute. Watch that. Let me share that to you.
oh gee willikers.
It was not part of my lineup, but I said, let me see that. I wanted to talk about it because it was interesting. Brittany, they needed you there. Brittany, you will get the girls. You will get the girls together, right? The boys together, right? All right, let's put that Trey Songz thing to 1:30:41 before we talk about the GoFundMe. All right, 1:30. All right, so y'all saw it?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So if y'all seen it, Trey was at a party, right? And he had his drink in his hand. Y'all know Trey Songz, Mr. Steal Your Girl. He had a thing in his hand, and some female, random female, whatever, just dropped something in his drink. And he saw it. He clicked at it. He saw it, and he looked at it. It was like this. And it was interesting because I was like, that right there is a problem in itself. Now, I didn't read a lot of comment section, but I think I saw a little comment section. People say, listen, if it was the other way around, he would have been in the court system right now. He was saying, oh, he's in drugs, he's drugging me, systems. Mm-hmm. It's like this. I was like, so why is that a problem that a female did this? Like, people say it is a problem. They would say it was the other way around. So people are saying that. And it's that I didn't like that. She thought she could get away with trying to take advantage of him. And the good thing that he saw it. And yes, Auntie Bobby, he did look crazy. And he looked like he was about to.
Shocked. He looked shocked.
He looked shocked. He was like, hold up. I know she didn't drop something in my drink and think I didn't think I'll notice that. Look at it. He saw it. And he was like, hold up. So if he would have drunk that and he'd have been all woozy and then she would try to take advantage of him and have been okay about that? No, that's not okay.
She would have tried to set him up. She would have tried to set him up. Any allegation she could have put on him because he was intoxicated and she drugged him.
Yep.
And that needs to be, she needs to be put under charges. How about that?
Yeah. And I didn't like that at all because I was messed up. I was like, because if it was the other way around, we would have heard this. And a good thing they showed the video. They say that, yo, it's not okay because at the end of the day,
they would have been already bringing up investigation paperwork on him.
Yep.
They would have tried to put another black man down into the motherfucking chamber of doom.
Well, so I was like, I didn't like that. I said, let me bring this up a little bit because it was a quick little clip. And I said, let's discuss that because I said that would have been totally blew up if he did that. And people can't.
And another thing is, has anyone identified her yet? Because if that would happen the other way around, they would have been like, his name is Wooty Whoop Whoop. He lives in Nebraska. You know what I'm saying? The internet would have been snitched.
Well, man, Whitney, I like Whitney. She said my flex is still too bad before anybody would have been happening. She would have had that drink dripping out her face. I would say, you for real.
For real.
All that drink on her face and say, real quick. I would say, come on, because at the end of the day, yes, we making a joke, but at the same time, it is serious. Like, if he would have drunk that and have been drugged, like, we don't know what she put in his drink.
And I understand why celebrities have so much security at times, because things like that, you know? And he should have been a little bit more responsible, not in the middle of a party in COVID, and you about to get drugged by a Brazilian bitch.
Yes.
You should have thought that all the way.
People joke about it. Yeah, she tried to see that D because it's like, yeah, she saw the video. She was like, she want to get it close to personal. So, but you gonna try to drug it? I said, listen, you didn't have to do all that. You didn't have to do all that. Maybe you would have came into the hand trying saying, walk your little sachet and then switch to the front of his face. He probably would have still took the bait, but you had to drug him. Sure.
The audacity.
I know how I feel. I mean, he's too big, so I would have had somebody else try it, but I would still watch. I was still trying to watch it. Sure, I ain't gonna let that finance go away. Sure, sure, I'll do something. But but yes, but that was not cool for what she did at all. Yeah, let's find her info real quick and blast her out. Shit, this is a chick. This the chick you need to watch out for the parties.
Exactly.
And I know she can go to the party and say you denied. You denied. She said, "Well, I denied."
Yeah.
Because you saw
the you're not welcome.
You're not welcome. You try to slip a Mickey or Trey Songz, you definitely denied.
We have you on camera, Linda. We have you on camera.
That's what I'm saying. Sure. Right? I would just say I'm trying to see what the hype is about. For real. But yeah, good thing he saw that. He said, I was like, oh, I was sure. I was like, where his man at? I was saying, drop that drink on his table real quick. Sure.
Somebody should have clotheslined her. Like, somebody should have took her out real quick.
For real. I was like, oh no.
Get out of here, lady. Get out of here.
I was like, I know she did it proud. She did it proudly too. Like, oh, let me slip it. All right, we'll share it. All right, let's close that out. Do this one. All right, yeah. So I want to know what y'all, Linda, listen.
Let's listen, Linda.
No, listen, Linda. All right, 136.24. All right. This is the GoFundMe, right? I know many of y'all probably heard this about it already, but I want to talk about it because I want to get my own opinion about it as well. All right, so woman who raised more than $200,000 in donation after facing eviction explains that she is not the biological mother of the children she claimed in her GoFundMe campaign. Dasha Kelly of Las Vegas is getting the side eye from some people after she made it seem like she was the mother of 3 young girls who were facing eviction and needed some assistance. She launched a GoFundMe campaign titled Help My Girls and I Avoid Eviction and explained in the description that she has 3 daughters and owed $1,900 for rent. After being featured on CNN earlier this month, she was able to surpass her goal. According to Washington Post, days after being featured on CNN, a woman came forward and shared that she is actually the biological mother of the children that was featured in the Dasha doing the news piece. On Monday, Dasha posted an update to the GoFundMe campaign and said that she is not the girl's biological mother, but her partner is the girl's father. She said, I take care of these girls in my home for periods of time and have for the last couple of years. I love these girls unconditionally and have been out of the kindness of my heart. I treat them as my daughters and care for them in a way. The details does not change my original need for more need. Now, she said, my name is Kelly and I have 3 daughters living in Nevada. We are maintaining just fine before this pandemic hit. Now we are suffering. We do have EBT for food. It also applies for CHAP. However, they do not assist immediately. We owe $1,900 for rent alone, not including utilities. Oh, $1,900 not including utilities. I will figure out utilities by pointing a few things. As you all know, it's entirely still too hot to be homeless. My daughters are age 5, 6, and 8. Please help me with anything you can. That's the original post before this mother came about. Now, this is her post after. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for your support on my fundraiser. I've been contacted with some concerns about my relationship with the girls mentioned on my fundraiser, and I'd like to clarify a couple of things. The girls recognize me as the mother figure in their lives, but I am not their biological mother. The partner is the children's father, whom I do not live with, and I take care of the girls in my home for periods of time and have for the last couple of years. I love these girls unconditionally and been out for the kindness from my heart. I treat them as my daughters and take care of them in this way. The details does not change my original need for donations to avoid eviction, and I will be using the funds to get back on my feet and support my family. As mentioned in my last update, I will also be putting aside money for the girls in the savings account. If you would prefer to receive a refund for your donation, please fill out the form below. And for the next 14 days, GoFundMe will issue the full refund from any donor upon request. All right. I would say,
it sounded like she was looking for a cash cow.
yes. So this is what I was saying. I would get your opinions about that. I was like, granted, yes, you do take care of the kids for time to time. And I'm gonna mention some of the comments that I've been reading while we're discussing. You do take care of the kids for time for time. Oh, also the article I read, the New York article I read, I'm gonna mention that as well. The guy who did the CNN post said that when he went to her house, it didn't seem out of the ordinary that the children was not her. And it seemed normal that the kids were calling her mom and stuff like that. And she's in the household, and it looked legit that she was the child's mother. So it was no red flags for me to notice that she was not the child's mother. Until the biological mother came and brought birth certificates of the daughters saying, this is my children, this is this and that. And she was upset that she used her daughters as a cash cap for whatever, for her situation. Now, a lot of people were saying that, oh, well, she still take care of the kids. And yes, she take care of them for periods of time and stuff. So it's no big deal at the end of the day, all that stuff. My thing is that granted, yes, she does take care of the kids from time to time. And then the mother mentioned that she did drop off the kids to her house for a week, whatever. So maybe she supposed to drop to the father's house, and the father said, drop to my girlfriend's house because I'm not around, whatever. She dropped it at the girl's house, except for time to time. Now, when she did mention the post visually, she did not get any donations up front. It's not until she got to see an end, that's when the donations started coming in, and that's when she started raising way more than she expected, and mainly for most of donors, not from people. And the rest of the people like us donated like $200 something, and then the rest of the money came from everybody else. Now, after all is said and done with the refunds and stuff like that, I think it still comes short of 200, close to 200, and everything. My point is, and I get your opinion, I know I'm talking about it, so I'll get all the facts together, is that yes, you take care of the kids from time to time, but you knew that if you would have said that you are facing a vision by yourself, this is not my kids, and I'm going to be homeless. Now, you made an implication that if you don't have the rent paid, you've been homeless and the kids would have been homeless with you. That's not the fact, because they still have parents. Those three girls have a mother and father they can still go to. So if you lost the apartment, those kids would not have been homeless. You only will not have your apartment. So exactly. You implied that you would have been on the street with the three girls, claiming that those girls was yours. Now, another thing, that CNN reporter, he didn't do his due diligence, because the fact that this biological mom can come with her birth certificate to show that this is her kids, that you didn't ask for, or you didn't ask the questions. I said, it sure is not making a hard time for the little girls to call them mother. You can tell the girls, say, listen, I'm watching the video, I know I'm about to be on TV. She said, I'm your mom. That's like, I don't think she said, because she said she does take care of the kids from time to time. So it probably could be possible that they call her mom. I don't know. I would have been okay with that. But at the same time, it's possible. This is young children. So it's that. But you can still have pictures with the baby daddy, the father, in your household, pictures with the kids by yourself. So you could set up your house to make it seem like you are the mother, even though you're not the mom. It's like that. So she knows she could get the money by saying the kids in her thing. If she would have been, like Auntie Mama said, if she would have said it from the beginning that I'm not the kid's mom, I'm the single parent who'll be in our household, maybe people still probably will give you money because they still have a soft spot for you. But you used the children because you knew that was going to be a way to grasp people to big money for you and not have a question asked. And now this came about, and now he's making this reporter saying, "Oh well, it didn't look legit." She said, well, I feel like I'm the mother. I said, okay, that's way far from you saying you was the mother.
What she feels like is that she got caught trying to take advantage of people's caring hearts. That's the fuck she needs to feel like, okay? Because she got caught the fuck up.
And that's
You could have been a foster mom. You could have been an adopted mom. You could have been a fucking auntie, for Pete's sake, if you would have told the truth. And she was looking out for herself and using those children. They need some more regulations on that damn GoFundMe, because yes, the internet, look how viral it went. The bitch made it on CNN, for Pete's sake. And that's how she got that money, because she's pulling at our hearts. You know what I'm saying? And people were like, okay, we can't have these children out here. If we can do anything, just like you said, if it's $1, $200, $5,000. Nevertheless, people were willing to step up to help her. And bitch, you just fuck up the thing for everybody that actually needs help out there.
Yeah.
If there is a whole mother out there with the 3 daughters and stuff that actually needs help, she's gonna feel alienated now because she can't address her story because this heifer done messed this game up for everybody.
Oh yeah, definitely is. So I was like, and the people in the comments said, she said, well, she's still taking him. What's the problem? She's like, I said, it doesn't matter if she take care of him. At the end of the day, she's not the primary caretaker. The mother is, and because she had to drop the kids off, when she had to be away for work or something like that. So I would say, where's the father of the kids? Like, and the fact that you don't live with the father of the kids. So yes, you take care of him from time to time, but that's all it is. And my thing is, it's like, if you are behind your rent and you are the partner or girlfriend of the father, girlfriend of the kids, and the mom dropped the house, well, you take care of the kids from time to time when the mom is in his custody, when the kids is in his custody. How come you can kick the money from him to you pay your rent? Why you need to go on CNN or GoFundMe to pay your rent when you are a girlfriend?
And you guys notice that her responses were very well written. So I think CNN, once they caught up to the, you know what I'm saying, what's going on, they were like, you have to issue these statements, you know what I'm saying, to keep our nose clean. Because not to say she's ignorant or anything way, shape or form, but how she worded it and gave like the instructions, you know what I'm saying, to get your refund and stuff back. I think CNN was like, okay, we caught on to her now. We have to, we got to clean this up.
And the fact that she didn't issue the refund, GoFundMe freezes the account when they found out that she was lying about the kids. And they go still give her the rest of the money even after they give the people the chance for 2 weeks to resend their money. So whatever is left, she will still get at because she still put it up to GoFundMe, which I was like, it's crazy because at the end of the day, yes, nobody's knocking the fact that you do take care of the kids from time to time. But don't come up here act like you didn't do a lying service by portraying that this girl, that these kids was yours, and that they will be on the street with you. What is not the case. They would have still had a home. It was like she knew that what would be more profitable,
right?
And
I bet you
put on the street. Then
I bet you $1 that the baby dad has something to do with it. I bet you $1 that he has something to do with it. He probably put her up to do that and thought he can get away with it. I bet you.
Well, but he said, lock her ass up.
For real. Lock her up. Just like the bitch that tried to poison Trey Songz. Lock both them bitches up.
And that's what I was saying. I was like, listen, granted, at the end of the day, yeah, people, and it just so sucks that doing this panorama that we're going through, people are using sob stories to get money. There are people out there who are legit. There are people out there who are scammers. And how you can determine now, like you said with this piece, that people will say, okay, now another person who going to CNN, another person like that. And then I blame CNN who didn't fact check the story before they put it out there. And it made it seem like, oh, so now they would say, oh, it seems like it was legit. It's like, no, anybody could stage their house to make it seem like I didn't have my nephew right next to me say that's my son. And I could have pictures of him with me together, all that stuff and everything, facing eviction. And there was something my brother came out.
Yeah, exactly. Just to prove that point, like those, like the interracial couple in Wisconsin who couldn't sell their house because the wife was black and they had interracial kids, but then they put all white pictures up in there and they got a higher bid on their house. So that's, you can stage your house in any way, shape, or form. And they did it and proved the point. So just like that bitch just put pictures up and was like, let me be mommy right now. Did she have any biological kids of her own? That was another question.
I didn't mention that. I only said she's a girlfriend of the father who kids that she take care of from time to time. Like I said, nobody knocking that, and we do commend you for taking care of the kids. And sometimes when he had to do something or he had to go to work or something like that, you dare to take care of the kids. but you didn't have to go and lie about it either. You should just stay up and let
my CSI crime scene investigation senses are tingling, and I'm telling you, I feel that the baby daddy allegedly put her up to it.
Yeah, like yeah, because I would say, what man will allow you to take care of his kids and know you're facing eviction and can't help you in way, shape, or form? Even the mom, it's like that. If my kid's daughters is at your house, you can't ask them to help you pay that $2,000. I mean, I guess you probably don't want to own them back. I guess that's the probably reason why you're too proud to ask. But I would say, if I'm taking care of your kids in my house and I'm doing from time to time, why can I can't ask you?
Yeah,
so, that don't make any sense.
It sounded kind of fishy.
Yeah, doesn't. Like I said, and there are people in the comment section. Well, she take care of them, so it's no problem. Yeah, if y'all take care of them from time to time, I'm the mom. It's like that. I said, y'all missing the point. Y'all missing the point. Nobody's knocking that point apart about it. Yes, she do commendable job for taking care of the kids. It's like that. Nobody's knocking that. But
yeah, it was the point of the lie. It was
they would have given you the money. People would still probably give you the money if you would have said, "No, this is not my kids." But I feel like I take care of the kids from time to time. The mom and the father trusted me and take care of the kids. If I don't have no place to stay, they don't have nothing to go to. They still will be with their mom, stuff like that. But I'll be out on the street. People probably still would have probably give you money, but you implied that these kids was yours and they're gonna be homeless, and that's where you got that amount of money, huge amount of money. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Brittany said she should apply for a PP loan. Anything that she not
yeah.
like that.
Not the church's money.
Oh.
The few money.
So man, I was like, okay, girl, you did that, but. Yeah, you try to say, oh, well, you can get your refund. I said, girl, you didn't was trying to get that refund. You only did that because you got caught. You was going very with that story all this time, and now she came about. And they said, well, they were people attacking the mom saying, what mom can, and people say she was, I said, how's the mother is a deadbeat mom when she just dropped the kids off? Maybe if she had an agreement with the father that she would drop the kids off and he'd take care of the time, and maybe he couldn't take care, he'd drop it at the house or whatever, what the arrangement is. But how she was a deadbeat mom? She probably say, oh, she feels salty probably because she had thought about it. I said, why she used to feel salty? She's taking care of kids. She ain't had to think about going to GoFundMe and do that. So I was like, people, y'all projecting. Because there ain't no way in the shame that it said that she was a deadbeat, that she's not there for her daughters. She just showed that she
showed up with the fucking paperwork, was like, here's the papers, judge.
Yes.
That woman's a liar.
Yes. All that stuff. So fortunately, I think it's down to $190-something. So if nobody else we send their money, that she will get that money. And she said she will use the money to put in a kid's savings account. I said, that's nice. You will have to use it for the kids. If you use your kids as a motherfucking gold money for me,
for real,
you better give those kids that pay that $2,000 that you owe, and the rest of the money should go towards them. If you use them 8, 6, and 5, put on. I would be mad too if I was the mother of the child. I have children. I said, hell no. Don't exploit my children. I drop you off to take care of whatever the reason I drop you off, but don't put them on television and claim it's yours. Goodbye.
Goodbye, lady. Please
sure.
leave the building.
So
she can't come to the cookout. She can't come nowhere. She
nowhere. For real.
No,
I was
not
like, okay. But it's still fishy. I was saying, why you couldn't ask the father of the child? I was like you said, he might be up to it. Because I was saying, ain't no other way. You take care of 3 of my children, and I can't ask you for money to help me get off the being evicted.
It's a strong no.
Yes. I like y'all. That was nice.
She said it's too hot to be homeless in Las Vegas. Like, yeah. Okay. Have you been? How do you know? Have you been
homeless?
Well,
hey, yeah, it's like, yes, I said, Mama, she was definitely being shady about that. She definitely being shady because she admit that fact. Now she came out and say, oh yes, but I can't take care of periods of time. Periods of time mean a weekend there. This and that.
You mean on his bi-weekly visits where he can get the kids? Is that what you mean?
Well, so I was like, girl. We go. Last topic of the night is the Nick Cannon, and we can discuss whatever y'all want to discuss a little bit before we go off of here. Nick Cannon thing. We're gonna do an audio for that. 154.24. All right. Let me set it up. So I roll a thing. Nick Cannon did a Breakfast Club interview. He talked about polygamy relationships. He talked about cancel culture. He talked about his rap career. He talked about Mariah Carey. He talked about a lot of things. But we only gonna really focus on the beginning part of it because I ain't really going to the whole, because the whole interview was like almost 2 hours, and we're not going to sit here and listen to all that. So we just gonna talk about a little bit of part of it, and that's that.
Mix and match your favorites at Domino's. Choose any 2 or more items for $5.99 each. Order now at Domino's.com.
Right?
Struggling with acne? Recommended by 90,000 dermatologists worldwide.
What is going on here? Production?
No, it's the ad. All right.
In the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Our guy.
Nick Cannon.
We here. All right, the streets say Nick No Condom Cannon.
That's
right. Is that what they say?
The
fertilizer.
The fertilizer. How many do you want?
Man, honestly, I always used to joke around. I was like, I wanted the 12 is that the 12 tribes. Like I was really but somewhere 10 to 12, I wouldn't be
Why
mad.
so many? Just
You got so many too.
I got 5 and 1 on the way. So I'm gonna have to stick. But I'm stopping it.
Really?
I'm stopping.
Are you sure? Is it the beauty of fatherhood, man? When you really talk about like the essence of living in as a father.
All right, before we go there, he joked about he wanted 10 to 12 kids like that, and then he went off to say, "Oh, DJ Avery, you got a lot of kids too." But people put in the comment section that DJ Avery had all that kids with one woman, or in the same household.
Bro, before we go any further, a while ago when we first started doing Auntie Momo show, I brought up Nick Cannon is from San Diego. And I told y'all he's on that Israelite shit. So he wasn't joking when he talked about the 12 tribes of Judah and stuff like that. No, that's his belief. So he has a very skewed view on the world. So he's dead ass serious. He's dead serious.
I do believe he's serious.
It's a faith following, religious base. And yeah, he believes in that shit. That wasn't a joke. That's why he got in trouble with that Jewish stuff when he attacked the Jews. Remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
He believes that. He's an Israelite. If people know what that is, he's a full-fledged.
I know they can't fan and never will be. All right, yeah, that's my last for him. So he said that. So people in the comments says that DJ Envy, the only difference between DJ Envy and Nick Cannon is that DJ Envy has a lot of kids with one woman in the same household. You have multiple kids in different households, so you can't make that comparison. So I was like,
across the globe.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So let's move on for that. I had to mention that. I was like, okay, you try and play this, and he didn't correct him either. He said, "Well, I got for one woman, but I don't guess he want to do that." He didn't want to do that.
Man, I've learned so much just from my children, man. Like, and it's so amazing, and I really just love being around my kids and just that youthful energy. It feels like you get to relive every time.
All the time. I love that.
And I think because, I've been through so much in my life, physically, mentally, and spiritually, like the best place that I find is the time that I spend with my kids and the energy, and to get as much of that as possible, to pass on, all to something else. That's why I do it, man.
It's not the number of kids, though. I guess people question the different baby mothers. That's what.
Well, why do people question that? I mean, because that's a Eurocentric concept when you think about the ideas of like you're supposed to have this one person for the rest of your life, and really that's just a classified property when you think about it. I mean, like when you go into that mindset, if we're really talking that talk, like just the idea that a man should have one woman, we shouldn't have anything. I have no ownership over this person. Like if we're really talking about how we coexist and how we populate, it's about what exchange can we create together. So I've never really subscribed to that mentality. I understand the institution of marriage and stuff, but if we go back to what that was about, that was the classified property. That was because a father gave another man his daughter for land. So when you really get to that concept, it's like, all right, well, we got to change all of this stuff because I don't want ownership over anybody. I don't have ownership of any of the mothers or like we create families in that sense that we created a beautiful entity. So I get into it because I don't, those are the concepts that a lot of people, because we're so indoctrinated into it, like, we have to have it this way. I'm not, I don't subscribe to that. I actually think women are blessing us. Those women, those.
So when they asked DJ, Charlamagne the God asked, so people question the baby mamas. He said why people question it because he doesn't subscribe to that Eurocentral ideas that a man should be with one woman and woman should be one man. Create a family with men and just one man and one woman. So like that he doesn't subscribe to that. And just like you were saying that he has that Muslim type Israelite.
Yeah, it's called Israelite. Yeah.
It's like mentality about having multiple children. And granted, nobody put a gun in your head to force you to subscribe to a particular viewpoint. Right. And one thing he did mention about women not being properties, because in the past it does may seem like women are property and they are objects for a man's gratification, and it was barbaric in the past, and some people still feel that way. That's why that whole tradition, that whole lifestyle still creeps into this day and time spirit, even though times are changing. So no, you don't classify as an object for the person. So yeah, I understand what he's saying about women's not our objects and not our personal possession as well. But at the same time, man, you creating all these children is not a good look. Like I said, that's what you feel about it. That's how you feel about it. But at the same time, don't act like people don't question it, because it's not because of you. It's the children they looking at.
Yeah, and he shouldn't have come on the whole interview was like gaslighting us. He knows good and goddamn well that his faith following is very aggressive and racist. 1. 2, that's what got his ass in trouble with the Jewish people, okay? And 3, how in the hell are you taking care of all them kids, giving them quality time and care as a father should? It's not even feasible. What do you have, some sort of harem where you keep all your bitches lined up? Come, I'll go see this child at this hour. I know that mentality, and the whole guise of him trying to make it's like, it's a faith and this and that. No, he knows good and goddamn well that those Israelites can be very aggressive and very racist and very sexist. But since he got to keep celebrity face, he on there talking like, no, bro, get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here. It's like it's a whole.
All of them are the ones. Open themselves up to say, I would like to allow this man in my world and I will birth this child. So it ain't my decision. I'm following suit. So
women,
I respect that game you running on them ladies. Wow, Nick, that's what you spitting? That's the dream you selling? Wow.
So the women that
they're the ones that making the choice.
So the women you have in a relationship with, they don't mind that
every woman that I dealt with, obviously my life is on Front Street at all times. They know how I feel, and it usually is a concept. Like I'm not going around like who I'm gonna impregnate next. Like, nah, it's usually scenarios and like that's the thing. People say certain things in the public, but when you really look at how a family infrastructure is designed, the woman is the one that always leads and makes the decision.
I agree wholeheartedly. I say that all the time. I say that we had to do some real societal brainwashing to make people believe that men were the actual leaders. Yeah. But just by nature, you can look and see women run everything.
Yeah, and the only thing we have brute force. That's about it. And even now, that's changing drastically. And we've used our brute force to brainwash society to think that we're the overpowering or the one that controls just because maybe we can physically move something. Women lead. And in every scenario that I've had, I step back and say, how do you want to do this? And it's sad because a lot of people will be like, man, how is he convincing these women? I'm like, I'm not, I'm the one.
Okay. All right. So people say about him convincing females. To be honest, y'all, I don't think he really convincing them as much. I think he is saying that, because at the end of the day, we all know who he is, right? We'll see who he is and what his viewpoints are. So if I become the next female, or whatever, if I was a female, and come up to him and we start build something, I know what it's up if I decide to take next step and get pregnant by him. Knowing that I'm not going to be the person who he married or something like that. I'll just go be the next number to his belt how will create his children.
Exactly.
I would have the means.
Another notch on his belt.
I would have the means because he called it to him, and we're gonna discuss that he take care of all his children and he be there for his children. So that could be, I don't have to live or worry about that. But at the same time, my child ain't gonna have him in the household all the time. So I'll still be the primary caretaker of my child. So at the end of the day, so is he really spitting game when people already know who he is? Is he really spitting? He don't even have to spit game. So I was like, granted, now the regular smuggler dudes who is out here doing the same thing as him doing, what is he doing? Is he spitting game? Well, if the ladies know his reputation, is his really spitting game, or they know his reputation and they decided to get on with it?
And one thing they do know is that he's going to pay his child support. So unfortunately, this is allegedly, they could just be using their babies as cash cows too, like other baby girl. They know if they get pregnant by Nick Cannon, he will responsibly, as long as he's a working celebrity, pay his child support. You know what I'm saying? And remember, it is faith-based, so maybe he does have a little bit of scruples up there where, you know, he can take care of his kids, but it's like they know better. I don't understand. Like they like kind of messed up their future, and I don't know if it's like I said, does he have a harem where he can just like every time I'm going to my baby mama house, I know I can get some food, see my kid, and get some vagina, and he can just bounce around the country and do that. Like they have like this code of honor. You know what I'm saying? That he's always obligated to be in their life via that child. You know. And it's just convoluted as fuck. It's like, get the fuck, get out of here. You niggas can't be possibly taking care of these damn kids like that. No.
Yeah. Well, and then he mentioned how woman leads the discussion and decision of like that. Yes. Let me ask you that. Who won the world? Girls. Yes, women does have the power to win the world, and they do lead a lot. And yes, it is, men does have this history to say, oh, well, we the men, natural leaders. Which woman could be all the more natural leaders than the female? Man, so we're not knocking that. But you saying that because women are leaders and they lead things, if their decision to say, I want a child by you, so you should avoid all decision making and say, you know what, I'm going to give you what you want. And that's what you do. It's like, because you want to create a lot of kids. So at what point should you not have your own decision to say that, listen, no, just because they lead and they say, oh, I want a child, or I'm going to give you a child, and I move on to the next. It's like, that's logic does sound really flawed in the aspect of it. If you would say a woman leads. So she said, I want the children, I got to give her the children. I'll say, okay. I like y'all. I was changing his head to get her viewpoint because I know she might rip him a new one, but I think my mom Brittany already doing it anyway. That's what they say, y'all.
That's in the scenario to where I have to follow suit in what they decide.
Well, I heard people say that they think you having all these kids with different women is selfish because you can't possibly give the time to all of the different kids.
Again, time is a man-made construct. When you like, if we're talking quantity over quality, I mean, everybody knows the difference between that. I mean, I grew up in an unorthodox household, so I do understand. Oh man, I wish my father was there more. I wish my mother was there more. I grew up, you know, a lot of times where my grandmother was the matriarch. So I understand the purpose of that, but it truly is, and not to, because I don't have to prove myself to nobody, but anybody who knows me, man. And every single one of my kids, I'm at every basketball game, at every martial arts practice. And people don't understand how I do it, but that's literally my children are my priority. And we know big families. We know people got 10, 12 brothers and sisters who live in the same house, some who don't. It's all about being present. And I always say, for all of those people that say, man, there's no way he can do it, sit back and watch.
Now listen, you have
He said that. The only indicator to know that is true is what, y'all?
I don't know. Let me know.
It's the children will tell their story. That's the only indicator to even find out if what he's saying is the truth or not. So a lot of his kids are young right now. So if they get older, and most of them still be around when they older, to see if that measurable that he's saying that he's been in every game, he's been doing this, he spent his time with all his children that he created. I think he has how many? 5, 6? 6 kids, I think he got.
That's too many.
Yeah, 6 kids. And he's doing all that. time would tell for us to even see if he's telling the truth or not when no kids tell their own truth. So we don't know how long that will be. If they say, yes, my father has been there for a while, and he's been there for us all the time. He's always been in every game and stuff like that. Then he's telling the truth. We going by his words right now.
His words,
so
and
we can only go by what he's saying.
But listen, is my CSI Tingle shit is going off again. I bet you all his baby moms have an NDA where they cannot speak out.
Now the baby moms can't say much, but there's no NDA on the children when they get older. So if the children could say, let's say, yes, my father has been there for everything I needed, then that's on them. Then we could say whatever. Well, I guess they can't say the truth. But we can't say that now because we only go by what he's saying. So a lot of us could only make exceptions. You know what? We could believe him or we cannot believe him because based on our own notions that it's really impossible for you to even be there for every children's games.
Thank you.
Things,
exactly.
Like that.
What, you got a teleportation machine, nigga? You in one city and a whole other city over there. It's not feasible. And you see how he's like so cavalier, and he's like, my children are every day, and that, it's like, what in the pimp C is going on here?
For real. Yes, I want to know what why the kids. So he did mention Mariah Carey. We're gonna get to that too, and about that. And what I want to say. So yes, it's only. And then he said that time is a man-made construct. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, you see how he keeps saying those key words? Like, get out of here.
Try to be all deep about it, which just doesn't make sense. Man-made construct. Man ain't made that.
All philosophical and shit. Like, it's too deep for this, bro. We talking about your multiple baby moms, and you over here trying to sound like your name is Malcolm X and you got a dream, motherfucker. Let's talk about how you a real hoe and stop trying to sugarcoat it.
Time has been nowhere man-made. Nobody came in this earth and said, hell, time. No. It's like, oh, okay, man.
Married before, you were married to an icon, Miss Mariah Carey.
That's still my wife.
See, that's your property. See what I'm saying? So when did you get to this mindset? Because I know you ain't say that to Mariah.
No, what's beautiful about it, and again, people don't really understand Mariah. And if you look at how she moves, Mariah was never a big believer in marriage either. When you look at, because she was in some scenarios in her past where there was some overpowering, the hierarchy of a relationship.
Oh yeah.
Because she got married early on, really young, so that skewed some views to where she no longer wanted to be in scenarios like that. So when we first got down and met, we came into like, we don't believe in marriage, you know what I mean? And then it got to a space like, man, we have a lot of similar beliefs, so let's have some fun with this. Let's embrace it. And people probably won't believe it, but I remember the first time that we hung out, we had a conversation like, man, how cool would it be? You know what I mean? If we were to get married, have like a boy and a girl, and like really spoke everything into existence. And like, you know what? And even if it didn't work out, we could still remain friends and be like the best of friends and just make sure we raise our kids. Literally like first date conversation, kind of talk and design what our whole world would be. And that's why we can, even to this point, be on the same page. I mean, I'm a lot more vocal than she is because she's a lot more private than I am. But a lot of the stuff because it's an evolved mentality, man. It's like when you understand energy and frequencies, and there's certain frequencies that others operate on that you can tap into, where society may not be
a hoe.
Really. So she introduced me to a lot of the game. I create my own world. You know what I mean? I and when you look at it, like she lives in her own world. She understands her own truth, and she never subscribed to that idea of marriage because she's a queen, you know what I mean? She's like, I move how I want to move, and when you look at those level of women that we're talking about, when you look how Oprah's move,
powerful women,
yeah, Rihanna, like they move how they want to move, and they put men in the place to where, I roll with that. I'll be that. And that's literally, I learned so much from her. I wasn't around spitting game, but these are very similar concepts when it's really about respect. If we really talking equality, a queen is a queen, a king is a king, and they can operate in that same form at a level equally yoked.
Okay. So he mentioned how him and I had the same kind of ideals I would have his baby though, for real. Like, sure, like I said, listen, if it's just like, listen, if I'm gonna be fulfilled, my children not have to worry about anything, it is what it is. But I gotta know that he's not gonna be there. I'm just gonna have a child. That's all. So, Brittany, you said he posted it. What he posted? Yeah. So he said him and Mariah Carey had a similar ideas of marriage. So they decided, you know what? That's one day. Let's get married. If it doesn't work out and stuff like that, we'll have a boy or girl. I guess their dreams came to fruition because they don't have one boy, one girl. And as we all know, it didn't work out, but they still cool as this day. All that stuff. So he did say Mariah Carey does want her drum her beat, which I do think so too. Because as we all know, Mariah Carey in her life, she does follow her own drums. Like she don't follow anybody else ideals or what it is. She's her own boss lady. She can do what she wants, and that's the stuff. So, is it possible they had an agreement and said, "You know what? Let's try this, see how it is." But then again, I was saying, "Okay, you just gonna try this to try it," and because they both, I guess he found someone who had a similar beliefs as him. So they would say, "You know what? Let's just try this. If it doesn't work out, we can still be friends." How you feel about that?
That's the only thing I believe that may be true in the whole goddamn interview is that if it don't work out, we still can be friends because no matter what, they're still gonna have to co-parent. They can't cut out the co-parenting unless Nick is just gonna cut out and be like, "Well, I don't want to be a father right now. I'm gonna go have other kids and not be your father too." You know, Tracy, hey, you know what I'm saying? But that's the only thing I believe in the whole conversation, and that would be more responsible because she does walk to her own beat. She's always been that type of person. Oh, and that's another thing. I'll give him credit when he acknowledged that she had tumultuous, relationships in the past. You know what I'm saying? Remember, she was married to the producer, who pinned her up against J-Lo, and she got too much going on with J-Lo, so they hate each other, and that whole circle that they was like dating the same guys. I understand that, so I can see Mariah being a lot more cool. I don't think she follows his faith-based religious beliefs, though.
No, I don't think
so that could be another thing because she has said that he is emotionally immature when it comes to having kids. That was her quote, and she has to understand that. For Pete's sake, you started off as like, I don't want to get married. Then you end up marrying the nigga. He got a whole tattoo on his back that he had to cover up with the cross. So, you changed your mind a little bit. You didn't want marriage, but you got your kids and you did get married. So you kind of like, I don't know. I just don't like the fact that it's not fair to the kids not to have a co-parenting or a two-family home. Sometimes it could be difficult, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, later on in the future, when those kids grow up, they're going to say what really happened. And we're going to see how that affected them.
Yeah. Well, hey, Trey, what's going on? Let me know you want to get on, because I know you're still out with your son and stuff. Let's continue on.
Is that what caused y'all to possibly separate?
I mean, it's so long ago. I would say, and I spoke on it quite a bit because I have no problem speaking about it, but it really is. It goes back to when you're talking about two. I hate using this term now but two alpha personalities.
Mm-hmm.
I always say to be the best parents, I had to step back and to say, man, I have to have an outside perception because of when you have two people who create their own worlds, you got to take the selfishness out and operate for the children.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like even there was a lot of like, this is the Mariah's camp, this is Nick's camp. And then like you see the kids in the middle and like, all right, that's confusion in the household. So let me at least step back, establish the things that I stand for. You establish those things, and respectfully, we will be able to raise these children better, because if you have dissension amongst kids notice that energy. And because we always moving all the time anyway. So now to be able to approach it as a partnership to raise these children.
I was gonna ask, what was that conversation like? Because there's a lot of couples out there that can't have that conversation.
You know what it was? At first, it wasn't easy, just because we had the teams were having the conversation. The lawyers, we sending their kids to college, you know, with them trying to, you know,
fix your situation,
fix our kids,
right?
Like, we got this. We wise enough to get here. Like, let's figure out what we want to do. And once we got on that, and once you really can get to like, let's make it about these kids, then everything else goes away, because my ego may want this, or my ego wants this, and because the beautiful thing, and luckily for us, it was never about bread. It was never about money. So I don't think, you know, any of my children will ever have to worry about finances. So, and specifically, you know, rock and roll. Situation, right? So when it got to it, just everything from like schooling, understand how, you know, even the ideas of manners and respect, and yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Like, we were always on the same page with that. So when it got to this space, it was like, all right, now I'm walking to the house now, pull up, ain't no problem. Well, stay the night if I want. It's just a cool situation. So
interesting conversation. I respect your right to move that way. I'm a married man. I love being married. I love the idea of being with one woman and building a family, building an empire.
And I feel like I want to figure, like, I remember being in that space, and I was with the one woman I've always wanted to be with for my entire, I lived the dream, and I saw it was so much to that. But for me, based off of my trajectory in life, I was like, there's a little bit more. And even like, I can even admit, like, at sometimes there was selfish concepts of like, I feel like my purpose is greater outside of just being
if y'all don't tell the DJ to shut up
and do so much more for the limited time that I have here on this planet, to where I can actually get to it. Because one thing about being married is you gotta go home at night.
Yes.
You gotta, there's things that need to be taken care of in that household on a day-to-day basis, because you made this commitment and this covenant that needs to be honored daily. And you're a representation, like, you know what I mean? That's what them rings are for. You showing the world that we are bonded together. Yeah. So if you got that on and you not bonded together, then it's like, then you live in this falsehood. And that's the one thing I'm like, I gotta live my truth. And I personally, I mean, you know, salute to anybody else who does it, but I can't get out here and talk about how much I live my truth, walking truth, only to truth, and I'm creeping. Like, so every woman that deals with me knows that, yeah, well, we know what it is. You know, and that's every aspect of my life, whether it's things I spit on these mics and
he's so
no, it's my wife's cat that next time in here and there. No, I haven't made the shots, and you just chime in, like Tracy. Yes, let's see. So he mentioned how his children had to worry about his finance. I said, glad to. That's most people say, finance, but it's the time that we all keep saying. Yes, you have the money to ease the asset, which is easy, but it's the time that we need. That's why I say the children only could tell us if it's true or not what he's saying. Let me see. We need to go to the no comment stuff. But he said he got his truth, and he said, it's just hiding my truth because it's like I creep it if I'm going to do that. And people will know what he said or what he is. And I mentioned that in the beginning of my video. I would say, granted, he is telling, I do believe he is probably telling all these females that this is who he is. He doesn't subscribe to marriage right now. He doesn't subscribe to one woman, man's kind of one man, whatever it is. He doesn't subscribe to one woman like that right now. He is one to go by his non-Eurocentric ideals. So if you're the woman who dating with me, you got to know that this is what I'm standing for. So it's either you accept what I'm standing for or you don't accept what I'm standing for. So if you do accept what I'm standing for, you only know the most you could get out of me is sex, and you might have a kid at the end.
Yeah.
So it's like, I do commend him for his truth, rather how far-fetched and how crazy we think it is.
For real, what in the Haley box comment is he talking about?
That's what I'm saying. How far-fetched you think it is. I mean, he still speaks his truth, so I do understand. So my question is, if you know this, is it really safe to say that we only could blame? Yes, we do blame him because he's still creating. He can still say no. But if I make the decision as a female to have a child by him, should I still blame him for saying, "Oh, he lied to me, he did this"? And I said, "How you know?" But he's thinking, and this is how he's moved for every situation he's been in. So
it sounds a little bit too stressful for the likes of me.
Yeah, you know, babies and money. That's it, right?
There you go. Sex, babies, money. Have sex, have the baby, get your money. Cha-ching.
Sex, baby, and money. And you leave it live. All right, let's move on to what he's saying.
You know, at least what he say, he believe it, and it's true. It ain't no false pretense here.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get what it get. You may not agree with it, and we can have discourse and debate, but I live my truth. And that's one thing I found, like, if I ever felt like I was gonna be stepping out or doing this, then it's like I'm sitting here lying. And
no, that's real. That's the reason I stopped cheating. To be totally honest. You know what I'm saying?
I again, cheating is even such a word, because if I go into this situation, and you know, and whether you want to put terms on it, you know, all type of labels and stuff, but if you know that I could say like monogamy or one person and one person, that's difficult for me. I can't do that. I did that very well within my marriage, but I'd be lying if I would say that I was sitting in that situation and another woman never crossed my mind.
Does it make you crazy when people when they judge your relationship online? Like, I remember you just had your recent baby and you were in the strip club with me, and people were like, how is he in the strip club when he just had a baby an hour ago? Does that affect you at all?
Yeah, that's just time management. No, it doesn't, because I don't really. It's a lot of noise. You know what I mean? That's like when I talk about the frequencies. Like when you operate on a certain frequency, you usually don't hear the noise. Sometimes it gets up there and then you deal with it. So I don't the clutter that I don't really deal with that. But when someone asks me that question, I literally say, "Man,
what is he talking about?
Is anybody complaining? Is anybody do my children look like they're not well behaved, or in a space where they're suffering or any lack emotionally, physically, whatever it is?" So I feel like I'm doing the job to the best of my ability.
Okay. So he mentioned how he moves the way it is. It's lack of noise. So it was like he just had a baby and he went to strip club the next day or the next hour and everything after he just birthed the baby. Because that's at the end of the day. His goal, whatever it is, that goal was, it's the baby. They had the baby, so like that. He doesn't subscribe to that one man, woman type of thing. So he go to do what he had to do. He moves how he moves. So, hey, Dominique, what's going on? He moves how he moves. So, and he's not fazed or bothered by what people saying about him. That's one thing about him. It's like, listen, he's not bothered. He gonna continue to do what he gonna do, and he can say F what people saying. Let's like that. But he said, "All my kids." He said, "Hey, here go Tracy. Hey, Tracy." So like that.
Hey, Tracy.
And my kids is mostly boarded or financial, stuff like that. I said, we don't know that because your kids are still young. I said the only indicator that we will have is when they get older, and we could get the truth from them. But at the end of the day, you can't censor no kids with their truth. They're gonna speak their truth, whether we like it or not. So we gonna see if what you're saying, if they're not emotionally affected, physically affected about what you not being there, or that stuff like that. The finance is there, but everything else is not there. So we'll see about that when they get older. How you feel about that part before we move on?
I call bullshit. I call bull these shits. Baby. Okay, so if you could be in the strip club an hour after your baby is born, then nobody need to say anything to Safari about being in Jamaica while his baby in the ICU. Apparently, parenting is I just need to impregnate and then live my best life.
Yeah,
that's what parenting is in Nick's books, because I'm not children emotionally. I don't understand how if you could have 7 kids in 7 different households, how you possibly could be there for these children perfectly emotionally. I will say this, my son just turned 18. I just dropped him off to college today. We had this conversation because he grew up with me. Like I was the primary parent. Me and his dad separated when he was 3. I got married to my ex-husband, who was a different person. I married him. He is the person he calls dad. That is the person he grew up with. We had a conversation about his biological dad, and he still, although he has a dad that he reaches out to, talks to, spends time with, does things with, he still has these feelings towards this biological person who just was not there. So I don't care what Nick say. Like, your kids, of course, ain't gonna say nothing at 3 months. Some heifers can't talk at 3 months. So try again. Miss me all day with the tomfoolery. And again, my son had my ex-husband, his grandfather, my parents. He had a village of people, and he still felt a way about this one person not being there. And it wasn't a terrible way. He turned out just fine. He's been on high honor roll since he was in the 9th grade. He's starting his master's in 5 years. He's a well-rounded, great kid. But it doesn't stop the fact that you're still going to feel a way, wonder, have questions, and not feel a sense of completeness.
Yes.
Which I didn't understand because I grew up with both of my parents in the household. So I don't know what that feeling is. But it's not like he didn't have people. So when Nick says these things, I say bullshit. I'm just going to call it like it is. And again, he could do that with them girls because they're young and dumb, impressionable, stupid, and they willing to pop it for a real one for a bag. I don't blame him. I ain't got no problem with it. Honey, do you. But look, he would have never. Look, you see, Mariah said absolutely not. Because Mariah said absolutely not. And he was on his best behavior because he was Mariah Carey's husband. He wasn't Nick Cannon. Mariah. No, he was Mariah Carey's husband. He played his role and he did his assignment accordingly. So he can miss me all day. I listen to the foolishness and then I say, sir, if we're saying we don't subscribe to the European way of being in relationships, I need to know what tribe he got his belief system from, because I can't find it. Because I know, listen, I know many Muslims who have multiple wives. They all have multiple households. He take care of them all accordingly financially, but they show up for them emotionally as well. They just don't leave the family destitute and said, "Oh, I'm gonna pay." That's not what they do. Like that wasn't what it is. Because your kids are still emotionally going to need you as a person. So, sir, where are you getting this whole, because I can afford to, I can just pay for it, and I don't care how the people turn out emotionally after the fact, because that's not my concern. My concern is I'm selfish. I want to do what feels good to me, which is basically, laying and playing at anybody who is willing to accept me, because that's really what it is. Whoever is willing to accept my tomfoolery, I'm just willing to lay in whoever is willing to accept that. And then y'all can't have no problems. Because I'll tell you this, I've listened to some of the interviews that 2 of the baby moms did. And from the way they explain it, it doesn't sound like he's explaining it here. Mm-hmm. It sounded more like, oh, I was aware that, he wasn't interested in getting married, but we could still have this bond that would never be broken, and this union that only me and him would share in such this magical way. So the way he prefaces this to females is not what he's telling y'all right now. He's telling them the fairy tale dream that they could have everything except the ring, but it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows.
Yep.
And then he leaves. So what you're telling those women ain't exactly what you're telling these men on this show, sir. I refuse to believe, because 2 of your baby moms did an interview, and they both said, no, the way he explained it was more like, we get everything but a ring. He'll come home, he'll go do shows, he'll do whatever, but as long as he's where I am, he will be home with me. So I don't know if he's strategically having them in different states. So, I'm only in this state 3 times a month. you know, maybe that's the way he's logically trying to build this out. But he can miss me all day.
I knew she gonna listen. Yes, Anil?
No, I said he just trifling. Just everything he said was spot on. And there's no way in hell he have a teleportation machine? Does he have a UFO? Because you're not hopping states to states like that, not even on a private jet. And you going to karate classes and stuff. He's blowing air up our ass. And I don't like how he's sitting there talking about, oh, it's so cool, and the frequency, and the noise. Well, okay, the noise, my nigga, but you go to the strip club, the noisiest places on earth.
No. I mean, we just dragged Safari from here to Kingdom Come because you know he was in Jamaica.
For real.
When Erica gave birth, wasn't that just the thing? I mean, so let me make sure I get this right. You could, you know, be there to impregnate her on this high frequency of, you know, this aura, this union that the two of you have, right? No. But then when it comes time to push that little miracle out, where you at, sir? Oh, okay. I just need to know. So I just need to know. Oh, okay. So let me get this right. You want the good stuff and none of the headaches. So you're all there for all the good stuff. Because taking your kid to karate class, that's the good stuff. That's the fun stuff. That's the encouraging. I get to cheer you on. But where is the 3 a.m. diaper changes? Where are those at? Like, where you at for those? Where you at for? I'm at the doctor's because this little joker got an ear infection and been hollering all night. Where you at for those? Because I'm noticing there's this thing with him that tends to be, I just want the positive vibrations, the fun, the good things, but none of the work that comes with parenting. None of the like day-to-day diaper changes, those throw up sessions, your baby colic. He don't want none of that kind of stuff. He don't want that. And he also doesn't want the relationship once the female is not happy, blissful. Oh my God, it's all positivity. Once the honeymoon phase wears off, so does Nick. Nick gone too.
I hear that. Yeah.
Not like Phantom. He gone. Ghost. Boom. Ding. Gone.
Nick gone too. All right, but he left his money on the nightstand though. Money on the nightstand.
Let's go see.
I don't even think he left the money on the nightstand. I think he contacted his lawyer and told his lawyer, write her a check and send it to her. From my P.O. box in Alaska. From my P.O. box in Alaska. Just in case.
Fucking whiskey.
In Alaska.
And
from where? Where's your P.O. box at? Oh, the North Pole. Like what? 1, 2, 3, 4 Reindeer Road. The North Pole.
Like, man, when's the last time you actually seen your baby daddy, let alone the child?
Look, when was the last time? Look, Nick, when was the last time you seen your kids? Like, is there a date? Like,
yeah.
Are you guaranteed to see them twice a month? Like, how does this work?
I don't need nothing about no.
When do you see your kids?
I don't want to talk while I'm chilling. Just say, when do you see your children? No, I need date and time, sir.
Yeah. All right, let's continue on with the
and it's all based on love. So I know people want to have opinions, but people have opinions about everything. And it's like, and they always say, lions don't lose sleep over their opinions and shit because people never understand how a lion moves. So I'm gonna just continue to be on my path and on my journey. And people, I know that it's funny. You ever see the book, The Self-Esteem Process?
Yeah, I love that book.
Where they talk about
energy. Put me on that book.
Yeah, like the energy.
You can see people's aura.
Yeah, you see, and the current, like energy is currency. So people want to. In that book, they talk about they call it interrogators. And I was like, I used to use the word haters a lot, but it's like, it's not hate, it's interrogation, because that's how they get your energy. They want to dissect it. They want to have an opinion on it. They want, and I'm like, oh, you can interrogate all along. If you ever been arrested before, you sit back and you remain calm. You let the interrogators interrogate, but you never let them break your cool. You never let them break your stride, and you stick to your story. You live your truth. And they're going to do what they do, and they're going to go out the room, and they're going to come back with some new shit. Like, people want to interrogate my scenario constantly. So I'm not really moved by it because they're just trying to rob me of my energy.
You think it's a coincidence that Nick Cannon is NC and no condom is NC? You think that is a coincidence or is that the vibe?
I like that. I like that. You know, I mean, obviously the jokes are hilarious, and you know, Wildin' Out, which comes out, you know, this week, well, on the 10th. There's a whole we got a lot of that going.
Oh, I know they didn't let up off that.
Yeah, no, that's all it is. And we shooting Real Husbands right now too. That's when y'all see that.
We talking about this show.
But contrary to popular belief, I do wear condoms.
That's a damn
Nigga,
lie.
please.
That's a damn lie.
Why? What reason do we have to believe that?
Don't have the condom name because nobody gonna use those.
Yeah, matter of fact, what is the brand?
No,
so they can be discontinued.
I keep the gold packs with me, but
well, you need to stop wearing them.
Oh, that makes all the sense.
Magnums be breaking though. They do. Okay, so let's go through this process.
Let's talk.
This guy was a woman here. I'm pretty sure the comments is going crazy. Now we all go through this.
All right.
Every relationship starts off with a condom.
Yes.
Correct.
So you go into it, right?
Right.
Then once you feel like you get there's trust.
It's comfortable.
And you get comfortable. And usually the scenario there's people saying things, whether it's true or not. Oh, you're the only person I'm sleeping with.
Mm-hmm.
There's equity in knowing like, oh, this is me right here.
Right.
Then in that intimate moment, you thinking, well, if we done been to the doctor together. I know what you get. And you know, it might not even be, you might not say, oh, I don't take it, because you know, domestic situations, you probably live together, you wake up in the morning, you done used all the condoms from last night, or you might get that one last one that, you know what, it is one in the corner of the let me put it on, the expiration date may not be what it breaks.
Right.
Once, however, that first slippage of either you didn't have it, the condom breaks, something you was in the shower and it slipped it or whatever, and like, all right, well, we done crossed this threshold now.
The fuck, we don't need them no more.
So you know how it feels now. And then and I do say this, that's why I say, you know, no children are ever accidents, because if we make the conscious effort of stepping up and having
unprotected sex, you know the consequences.
You're preparing to have a child.
Correct.
So anybody I ever had unprotected sex with, I knew, okay, this is someone I wouldn't mind creating life with. And there's emotions and love set up into that. There's ideas of like, I have the fortitude, and I'm seeing if this scenario were to happen, I can handle this situation. So every time if I meet somebody, and usually I don't like meeting new people, but I'm 99.9% gonna be strapped up in that sense. I don't drink. I'm under the right sober state of mind every time I go into any sexual activity. So in that sense, it's gonna be protected. But as you get to know people, and because I'm in a situation where, you know, I have a lot of quality relationships, it usually builds into a point where there's no longer doing that. And then we had to make that decision. Like, we're not using condoms. We know we prepared to have
some
a
of your
child.
kids are close to the same age. So that means you slinging dick with no condoms to a couple of.
Yes.
Thank you,
Exactly. Yes, it is true. Oh my God, you tried this before I was stopping. So yes, that's Auntie Momo. Because I was like, I looked at my notes. I was like, okay, let me see. He said he didn't get to the point about his checking himself every week. But he said that, yes, he built a relationship, he built a trust with these females. And then when you know it crossed out, because he started with condoms, then he stopped taking it when it's like that threshold is there and we trusting each other. And we said, okay, let's not using it. And we build quality relationships. But they say most of your children are around the same age. So you better trust. How quick is the trust with each one of the females that you pregnant, that you got kids for? It's like you got 6 or 7. So how quick is that trust? It's like that one time he said, all right, we slip it. Should we go and not use it anymore? And they, of course, they're going to say you the only one when they had freaking, come on, he got money. Of course, I mean, let's be real. Like, what more they could get from him? He can't get the commitment. So it's like, what can they say? They say, of course, they're going to say you the only one I'm sleeping with.
Well, let's be realistic. He probably is the only person they're sleeping with. The problem is on the other foot. they're not the only person
he's sleeping with. That's how I said.
The problem doesn't seem to fall on the women's side at this point. Sir, the problem is on your side. If you're in the process of building 4 quality relationships all at the same time,
how quick is that trust?
then clearly you're going to be having unprotected sex with these 4 people because you went to the doctor with them. You know they're clean. You know they're good. You know that they're all right. And they're not sleeping with anyone else. So you feel comfortable doing it. Sir, it really all sounds like that magnum probably don't fit. So it just slips off because you're buying the wrong size, honey. That's your problem. You're buying the wrong size. A gold wrapper is not for everybody, baby. You're just, I know you want to, but that's probably just not your ministry. So you're right. You put it on, it slipped off, you felt what it felt like, and was like, oh, well, I'm just going to keep doing this now. I understand the sentiment behind that. That makes good logical sense because that happens, all the time. That makes sense. But if you're purposely buying condoms that are too big so that this happens frequently,
get out of here, sir.
Blame's on you, sir. Blame's on you, sir.
Yes. Well.
Damn, we had some annoying people on the panel today, Miz. We had the people screaming at the 8 table. We had this nigga. We had the other lady that with the fake kids. This is very stressful.
We had stuff to talk about, yeah. Something else.
That it is funny because they start to as someone who has to see the doctor because of my other
lupus
ailments. Yeah. And I probably got a little careless with that because I'm STD checking every week because I get my blood taken every week because of lupus. So I usually know where I'm at, and I also
what about the young lady though?
Usually know. So and in that scenario, she knows what it is, and I'm like, if someone suggests using a condom, of course, that's what we doing. But if this person knows and is just as hygienically sound as I am, then that's usually how it moves. I'm never, it's not a secret that I have multiple.
Doesn't sound like your penis is FDA approved. It sounds like it's authorized for emergency use. It doesn't sound like it's FDA approved.
However you see, like I said, I'm the cat that's at the doctor every week. And I was like, I probably...
Wait. Time out. Pause. Wait. I have a question. Did this joker just say, if she says she wants to use a condom, then sure we'll do it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. So you are strapping up. You're like, if she says she wants a condom, then I'll put one on. But if she don't, then
I'm not using it.
Bam, we gonna shoot the club up.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just making sure I wasn't crazy because that sounds very different from what he just said earlier about how, until I get comfortable, I just always strap up. Like it sounds very different, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
He contradicted himself. He did that shit within 10 minutes. He done contradicted his damn self.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Oh my God.
But okay.
He went from trying to be the deacon of the church to trying to be a cool ass rapper. Now he back to being. Now he lost in the gray. He needs to get it together.
That's how I would say, how quick is this trust? Because it's like,
Listen, I guess the trust is as quick as you can get your STD results back. So however long that takes, that's how long it takes to build the trust. Because I mean, I guess if you can go to your mobile app and show him that you got STD tested and you clean, that's all the trust he needs. He's like, oh, okay, well, I trust you. I mean, I don't knock him because though an STD test is like my required before I sleep with you, condom or not. I need the test because you never know what's gonna happen without it. It may break, it may slip off, it may whatever. So I understand that. So I'm like, oh no, I need to see what you got tested within the last 72 hours. But that's just me. So I can appreciate Nick on that aspect, especially if you're going to be going around sleeping with multiple people at the same time. I believe in giving credit where credit is due. I appreciate him not giving the dirty D around. So I mean, you're doing better than most celebrity men. So touche for that.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
To a mindset to where I know I'm not. It's not a gamble with me. The women I interact with, and I don't want to get into too much detail, but it's when it comes to everything from health, I gotta take that probably a little bit more seriously than that. So I probably take a few more precautions of even understanding who I'm chemically balanced with and who I'm not chemically balanced with, because my doctors pay a bit more attention. Again, I live a different lifestyle than the average person because I have the wherewithal and the ability, but I also live a very careful lifestyle because of just my status and like from health, spirituality, and mentality. So again, I can, in that sense, I'm like, oh, he just going raw on everybody. It's like, that's usually not the scenario. But also when there's certain conversations that a lot of people don't talk about, where there's certain people in this world who interact differently sexually than others. And
the monogamy conversation is very, very interesting. Do you think you'll ever get to a point? Do you think you might come back and be like, no, I do?
Let's do that one last little thing about monogamy. Then that's it. We're gonna end it there.
Well, they already dropped the album.
See, because then if this is the idea, and I was going to lead into this, being with one person, right? That usually is what we just talking about sex. When you
marriage.
No, it's marriage.
So okay, when you talk about marriage, you're talking about the business of marriage, because marriage is a business, it's a contract, right?
I mean, I think it's a soul tie too. I mean, when you find the right person,
that's a covenant.
Okay.
So, and just like when we get biblical and all that, there's
He said marriage is a business contract, but if it's soul attached, it's a covenant. Yeah, he don't subscribe to the idea of monogamy.
So he don't subscribe to the idea of contracts, business contracts, or soul ties, because he just said a marriage is a business contract, and I'm quite for sure he got a few of those.
Oh yeah.
Like, don't you have a few of those? I mean, isn't wilding out a business? Don't you contract your employees? Aren't the people who work on there under contract? So technically, if a marriage to you is just a business contract, then technically you married to the show, you married to all of your employees in your mind. So I don't understand what the problem is you being married to this one woman. They all the same, right? A business contract is a contract, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Technically, he's just talking out his ass. He's just trying to say anything. He's going with the flow.
Yeah, because a soul tie is a covenant. A soul tie is a covenant.
That's a covenant.
Oh, it's a covenant. It's a covenant. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It was more, but we will end it there. But I just want to ask you about y'all discussing the in the future. We will, but that's it. He said too much. Quick question: what do you think about Blueprint album? CL, how you doing, CL? What's up? My first moderator. How you doing? He doesn't want to do it. He's just trying to get, or he can. That's what I'm saying. So, Auntie Mama asked me how I think about the Blueprint album. All right. So, this is how I feel about it, and I mentioned it on my watch along. The album songs is not terrible, but they're not great either. It's not really great because I feel like the songs don't feel cohesiveness between the people. It doesn't feel as a fluid. It doesn't feel a group. Like Pufferface Aubrey said, it doesn't feel like it's a group sound. It feels like they each had their own parts and they just mashed it together. And they may come together at night. So like that. So the twins, they dominate the most of the album because they sing the most of the parts, which I was like, that's stupid because Shamari had the best voice. She should have sung more the parts. But hey, the twins sing most of the parts. So you could tell it sounded like a cherished sound. And then you add Shamari here and there when she does the great on her part. And then they took out Pam part because I know she left the group. So they took her out when they did the album release. But they showed her in performance. And Keely's, her part, Broken Promises, it sounds okay. like I said, my only song I really like is Talking. I do like God on the Nose as well. But even with that song, it still kind of it doesn't feel complete. None of the songs doesn't feel complete. It doesn't feel like it's like a chorus. It doesn't feel like they blend the voices well. If they continue on as a group, then they should work on their group sound and work on harmonizing and stuff like that. Because that's what I think that was missing on the album. Because the songs itself doesn't sound bad. It just doesn't sound all that cohesive to me. So I could listen to it, but it's not something I was having my little thing and said, oh my gosh, I have to hear it. I could just hear it. So the only two songs I had downloaded was On the God Knows and Talking, because I do like those songs. But even those songs I did download, it still feel like it wasn't as much as I thought it could be. It's like that. So how y'all feel about that?
I didn't know that Pam left the damn group. So I'm upset. See, I missed the last episode. So okay. I was hoping for that.
Yeah, you tried to came in and I told you you couldn't join it because it would cut the TV off. So I said you could have still waited until after we finished it came on. That's what I said. It doesn't flow together. Trey, how you feel?
That, you know, if Nivea was on there,
thank you.
She could have blended their voices together. I was listening to harmonies, you know, whoop whoop whoop. Like I was missing the, you know, blending of their sounds. You know, I was missing the whole like, you know, like oh. No, and there was none of those. There was none of like, you know, the group harmonizing. And I think it's only because, you know, there was only one person who could actually sing things. Then there was somebody who could do a little yang 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 around the house. And then them two Bopsy twins that get on my doggone nerves. You know, because Keely ain't terrible. She can do a little yang yang yang. She has a very distinct voice. She knows she can only do certain things and sound good. You know, no, not knocking her. She definitely has her. She has her lane. You know what I mean? And,
so did they show
the Bopsy twins work my nerves? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I gotta watch my watch along. You get to see the episode, and yeah, they just perform. And I say they perform better than the album. The album was okay, but their performance was better. And because it brought the song to life, and Broken Promises did her thing. Shamari did sound well with her voices. The twins did dominate a lot of verses, which I was like, oh wow.
Well, listen, them twins ain't stupid. They want producing, writing, and singing credits. They want their money. Them heifers ain't stupid. Yeah. They annoying, but they ain't stupid.
Yeah, true. So I was like, they did okay. Like I said, they could have had at least a banger on it or two, because to be honest with you, a lot of songs didn't sound. It just like really got me. But Spencer Talking had me good. I like Talking because it had me going. But even though Talking is not really like that banger, it's like, oh, I need something like hey or something like that, and they don't have that. So I guess if they continue on, they probably give us more and they could be better. But as of right now, the EP, yes, it came number one real quickly. It's because it's a show. People go like, okay, they like the show, they want to follow the music, so it gets to go fly up there a little quickly. And people know people are girls. So I was like, that's that. But if it wasn't a show back in the day, and they just came out with something, I said, okay, we would probably say, okay, we know this girl, we probably see it as it is. But they ain't had the show behind it. You think it would probably make number one? You guys see Broken Promises. Yeah, Broken Promises did the Crybaby, but she was killing that performance. She was doing it. I was saying, Broken Promises, you better do it. Sure, you better do your little dancing. And she did have that stage presence. So give me one that Broken Promises, when she does perform, she does have that stage presence. So you can't knock that. And even the album cover, when she was standing like this, it's like the twins in the middle, but your eyes zoomed in on Shamari and Broken Promises the most than the twins did in the middle. So it's like they have something there that make our eyes drawn to them. So she was doing something.
Well, I can tell you this: don't worry about getting no more music because that ain't happening.
Because this shit was tumultuous.
Yeah,
everybody was
already. They did a the vocal did a thing. It was like, don't waste your time. Soon as it wrapped, it was over.
That's what I say. Because Pam said, and Pam said she gonna do gospel. Now, the gospel score that Pam had was nice. It was nice, and I would have to see and hear her songs that she come out with.
Listen, Snoop Dogg did a gospel album. Let Pam have her shine.
Yeah, I would see. Like I said, I would support it. It's on Apple Music. I would support her music and see how it is. Because like I said, I did like the song, even though it could have been done better, but I still like the song. So that's how I feel.
Maybe if the little Botsy twins wasn't producing it, you know. Maybe they let the producers actually produce that. Whatever. Because I don't like them.
Yeah, I agree. Shit, I don't think you're the only person in America that don't like them. I think they made everybody feel the same way.
Works my nerves. So are we all in agreement that Nick Cannon just full of BS?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, he can just stay off the TV or whatever. And not to mention that Wayne Brady is better than him, so I don't even know why Nick Cannon act like he's the most ultimate revered. No, he can win.
Yeah.
He can leave.
But yes. That had all I had for this thing. Y'all had anything else you want to discuss? That anything happened on the network also that we want to discuss before we get off of here? Because I think Auntie Mama is sick, so I don't think she's going to have to do a panel tonight. Are you doing a panel, Auntie Mama? I don't think she's not, because she said she's in bed sick.
Well, that was a very eventful conversation there.
And we had it was a good 3 hours, and we had a lot of good topics to discuss.
And I would recommend us not bringing back the 8 table people again, because that was a very like.
The 8 table people.
8 at the table. Yes, that was one of the topics we will discuss. We discussed tonight, and Eagles man.
Wait. Were they the traditional modern things?
One of the topics was what do women bring to the table if they make
more
money.
Yeah. Oh yeah, them folks. Okay.
You gotta take care of your health. That's more important. That's why I said I had this live. It could go off like that. Maybe I'll do something else later on, probably tonight. I don't know what it is. But next week is Mizzle Talk, so we will discuss. We have to discuss put a ring on it because I've been so long. I didn't discuss that. Not put. What I said? Yeah, put a ring on it.
Oh yes, because I need to drag Darion and heavy booty cop. Yes.
Oh yes, yeah. We got to put a ring on it. We're gonna discuss Potomac because it's been like I think I missed like 3 episodes, so we're gonna just go bunch all 3 episodes and one of the review. It's not gonna be a long review on next Sunday. It's gonna be a little recap, a little here. That's it. Potomac, put a ring on it, and probably let's do Marriage at First Sight. And then we have it time we could probably add in a little hip hop. But a little hip hop, there's gonna be certain storylines I'm gonna mention, especially like Yandy Infinity. That's probably the only one I might mention. But anything else, that's it. They found a marriage license for Ashley. This is Ashley? What they found a marriage license. What happened? You know, see, everyone got the tea. So tell us what's going on here. So next time we go to Potomac, Married at First Sight, and put a ring on it. And Love and Marriage Huntsville, y'all will get a recorded video of that. Maybe I should do that for tomorrow because I do like the premiere. So
yes, like Martell Holt. That's my favorite thing. Yeah. Martell Holt.
Yes, CM. Yes.
Oh, child, they found. Okay. Oh no, they always say nope. No. Oh, no, Ashley Darion.
Yes, Ashy Darion. You know Darion, because in between his knuckles be ashy as all and his face.
Ashley. Oh, like, yeah, Ashy. Oh, okay, yeah, she is ashy. Ashy lips, ashy everything.
I heard. Listen. I've been. Yes. So another woman. Oh, baby, listen. They all been in the street. Listen, they've been doing YouTube videos. They've been doing interviews. The randoms.
I'll be listening.
Listen, the randoms that he been sleeping with over the last 14 years. Mm-hmm. They've been doing interviews, baby. And they've been fighting with each other about the timeline. Oh no, he didn't do that for you then, because then he still had money from this, and he was at the Ritz-Carlton here, and he was doing that then. Yeah, all of them, and it's all during these 14 years that he was, with this other one. Crazy.
Wow. Potomac, what I said now?
Looking crazy. Okay.
Love it, hip hop.
Yeah. Wait, is the marriage license for the white girl?
Ashley has one too. I said this is the link to the team. Oh yeah, you did. I gotta look at the thing. Yeah, you did send me the link. I haven't seen it.
Mizzle, you gonna share the wealth?
Oh yeah, she said
you gonna share the wealth? You gonna share the wealth? Because I'm trying to see if it's the white girl he married to, or if it's that dark-skinned black girl who came out and did an interview. I'm trying to figure out who the wife is. But baby, they've been coming out the woodworks. And I was like,
yeah, they sent me the link of it, and I didn't look at it yet, but I meant to watch it.
And Jessica going off on him online. I was like, yes, Jessica. Go ahead and put your stiletto on his throat. I was like, yes, girl, yes. Shoot. She was like, she been going up, spilling tea. Oh, you don't pay no bills. You don't do this. Oh man, I was like, I know.
Let me know if this link works. I think I posted up. Let me know if it works. Yeah. I sent it in, and I sent it to you privately, Tracy, as well.
Listen here. I was like, listen, I've been watching the different interviews with the different people. I was like, oh wow, that is interesting. Wow.
So y'all will get the Love and Marriage Huntsville premiere probably tomorrow and everything, and we discuss it. I love the premieres because y'all do come through and we do make comments about the episode. And that Fan Fiance, I haven't looked at the last 2 episodes, but we will discuss that. Probably we'll talk about that on Instagram. I don't want to do no videos of those. And Love at the Lockup, if tomorrow feel better, we could do it tomorrow. If not, I'd probably discuss that as well on Instagram and just do that. Until then, y'all catch my capture video. There's no more encore, so you could do that way with that. Maybe I could substitute encore for Marriage First Sight, but we're going to do it this Sunday. So after this Sunday, probably I'm doing the regular videos on that. Yeah, but yes, I appreciate everyone who came and stopping by. Always, Tracy and O'Neil, thank you for always keeping it up. And always, Auntie Momo, CM, Brittany.
And send me the link so I can figure out who Ashley Dorian is.
I appreciate love, support, prayers, and wishes to Auntie Momo. Hope she gets better and everything, because there won't be no panel tonight, y'all. So we can have a rest of the night to relax and enjoy ourselves. And maybe later on tonight, I might be going to Instagram. We could just chit chat about things. So if y'all want that, let me know. I'll be home. It's like that. But thank you. Have a good night. Bless. Be safe. Appreciate everyone. And I talk to you later. Let's get on outro.
All right. Thanks, bro.
All right. See.
Mizzle Social Corner. I got a question for you. Are you ready to answer? Mizzle Social Corner. I got a question for you. Are you ready to answer? Mizzle Social Corner. I got a question for you. Are you ready to answer? Mizzle Social Corner. I got a question for you.
All right, if y'all want, I could do the watch along tonight for Potomac. If y'all want that. All right. So, later, good night, y'all. Y'all hit me on my DMs. Let me know. What's up? All right. Peace.